The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Y'all ready for this?
And now, coming to you live from MainEventMadness.com and brought to you by Spreaker, it's Main Event Madness. Our wrestling, your sports, simply madness. And on that note, here's your hosts, Al Merriman and John Curry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Main Event Madness. We're back. We're better than ever. It's your host, feeling better than ever. I swear to God, I feel great being back on the show. It's Alfonso Merriman with my buddy, my friend, my brother from another mother, John Curry. John, how the hell are you doing?
Not doing too bad. You know, I was kind of liking being in the driver's seat last week, but thank God you're back. I don't need to talk as much. God, that was horrible.
I'm going to be honest. It didn't sound too bad. I didn't hear the whole thing, but you and Matt held the fort, and I appreciated it as I had my panties in a wad, and I could barely speak. So, yes, I did have a cold. And I'm calling myself out for being a little douchebag.
By the way, you know, it's not exactly, but you know what, right now? Where Wayne lives, Mr. Wayne Daly, wrestling-news.net, not going to disclose that information, but where he lives.
Hump Day!
Get happy, get Geico.
Where he lives right now, it is.
Hump Day!
Get happy, get Geico.
It is a happy hump day.
I must say, I have never been so jealous of Mr. Wayne Daly in my entire life. That's making me very sad that it's not hump day yet here in Miami, Florida. But it's okay.
Well, it's an uncelebrated hump day over there for a lot of people.
Well, yeah, and ours truly is probably sleeping by now.
Nah, he's probably playing some Xbox. He ain't sleeping.
Oh, yeah, I know. I've heard you got a little bit addicted to a new game console. And by the way, a belated happy birthday live on the airways. I know you turned, 23 years young?
That would be correct, and thank you, kind sir. Yes, 23 years young. And how do I get to celebrate it? Being on air with you right now. How do I get to celebrate it? You know what? We're about to go meteorologist on this bitch again. I don't think I was supposed to swear, but oh well. It's our show. I'll do what I want. We are on the cusp of a nor'easter, which for those of you who are probably sitting there asking yourselves, what in the blue hell, as The Rock would say, is a nor'easter? Al, do you know what a nor'easter is?
It sounds interesting.
It is basically the equivalent of a wintertime tropical storm.
So is that what you're going through right now?
We're on the cusp of it, and by the cusp of it, I mean it is practically knocking on my door. Last time I was watching the news this morning. Shout out to the Today Show, which was an atrociously abomination of a newscast.
Wait, is that the same to? Oh no, I think that was Good Day. Where?
That's the good one. That's the one on ABC. That's the good one.
Well, I heard today, or I don't know if it was today, but recently Tim Tebow apparently found his calling that he was at Walmart. And I'm not sure if it was a Today Show or not.
Was he a cart pusher?
He's not a cart pusher, but he really made the days of a lot of people as he went to the layaway section and paid off all their layaways, which I thought that was pretty cool and interesting, to say the least.
Now, I have one gripe with that. Why the hell couldn't he come to my Walmart and pay off my layaway, or at least my parents' layaway, when they bought me the PlayStation 4? That would have been nice.
Well, you guys are in the boondocks, right? I mean, there's not really...
Essentially, yes. Yeah. There's not really much going on around here, except for the lovely, lovely nor'easter that's knocking down my door, where right now, where Mr. Merriman is, I do believe it's actually quite chilly out.
Yeah, I literally, I've had a couple personal issues. My wife's not doing well, and I'm here taking care of my son, and She's in the hospital. She's going to be fine right now. They're taking care of her, which is probably not great. I'm doing a show, but it is what it is. I literally walked into the hospital today, walked out, and I'm still looking for my balls. That's how cold it is, at least for a South Floridian. Yes, it's getting cold. It's going to be in the 50s the next couple days. And for us, it is cold. I know that you probably hate me saying that because I know you have already seen snow a couple times this year.
Ooh. Wow, it's going to be getting some nutsack freezing cold for you guys tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, you're going to have a low of 46 degrees.
Yeah, so it's going to be really good.
You might actually have to crank the heat on, bro.
In over a year.
You guys might actually have to crank the heat on.
And I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to give you guys a big spoiler alert, and I don't know.
Spoiler alert.
I'm doing multitasking here, and I think this is significant.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very bad idea when he's doing multitasking. But nonetheless, Alfonso Merriman, everybody.
Oh, this is a great idea, because you know what? It is... All right, so WWE SmackDown is being taped, and it airs on December 12th on Friday, and I'm doing these live updates on WrestlingNewsReport.com. And I'm going to tell you right now, okay. I did not see the entire Monday Night Raw. I called it Snooze Fest 2014. I literally wanted to almost slit my wrist, but I was
just telling you before we went on the air that I've been watching this week's Raw, and it literally feels like I've been watching it for about 4 hours.
Yeah, I had to take it off. I mean,
it's only been about maybe 2.5.
I'll tell you this, if it wasn't, and I know I'm jumping around here a little bit, but Monday night there was a huge Monday Night Football game. It was the Green Bay Packers versus the, what are these people called? The Atlanta Falcons. I almost call them the Atlanta Hawks here. Well, I had Aaron Rodgers and Mason Crosby. Mason Crosby, obviously the kicker of the Green Bay Packers. And Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, if you guys don't know who the hell Aaron Rodgers is. I needed a miracle. This is the first week of the playoffs for my fantasy team. I needed over 41 points to defeat this team. And sure as hell, I won my first round of the playoffs on a 53-yard kick for Mason Crosby to seal my victory. And everybody's shocked because last year I won in the first round with Justin Tucker where he scored over like 23 points. So everybody's like, what the hell is this about? So I just wanted to get that out there. So I actually was able to switch over from Monday Night Raw to a Monday Night Football, which was very very enjoyable for me. But back to what I was saying, there's a spoiler alert as I'm doing these SmackDown results. And I'm saying this for a reason. I did not see Monday Night Raw, so I need you to confirm to me if you know about this. But for the first time, they've aired a vignette for the Ascension on SmackDown tonight. And I don't know if they did that on Monday Night Raw, but that means they're coming up, and that's awesome, awesome news for that tag team division.
From what I've seen so far, they have not aired.
So this is big news, I think. I mean, I'm very excited. We've been talking about it for months upon months on our show. When is this going to happen? And it looks like it's finally happened. And
but it could also be a preview.
About it.
It could also just be a preview for NXT TakeOver Our Evolution, which we're going to get to in our second hour, which is a show that I'm really excited for. I don't know about you, but I'm really excited for that. I'm happy that I get the show off, or get the night off. I get to watch the show, which, by the way, is on the WWE Network for a low price of $9.99.
Which I have to. Apparently, I forgot to renew after my 6 months. I get about 2 emails a day in my inbox from WWE telling me, well, are you going to miss the pay-per-view? And literally the title of the email today was asking me if I was going to miss the TLC pay-per-view, which I thought was hilarious, and I saw that earlier tonight.
I'm sorry, but WWE deserves one thing for that.
Damn!
I'm so happy you had that on cue and locked and ready to go. That is awesome.
I'm trying to look for this.
I thought that was funny, I could probably share it with you guys. I didn't think it was significant enough, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And I know you're saying that it might be for this weekend, but it's kind of noting that it was just for the Ascension, so it looks like one of those teasers to kind of bring him up, which we'll see what happens. I mean, we'll see the actual video vignette on this Friday. And here's another thing. If you're thinking about it, Thursdays when the show happens, NXT Our Evolution, whatever the hell they're calling it.
Correct.
SmackDown is on Friday. why the hell would they air a vignette of the Ascension on Friday night if the show already happened? So I think they're coming up.
Good point, my man.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been on the air for almost 10 months now. Al has finally made a point.
It only took almost a year of doing Main Event Madness, and I finally made a substantial point that I was able to back up with factual evidence, which is pretty unique. All right, guys, I'm telling you what.
Before we get into something here,
go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off. All right. So at TLC, they did an impromptu interview with Roman Reigns, in case you're living under a block. Not a block of rock, and in case you just didn't care, blah, 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 whatever, yada, 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 whatever the case may be. He announced that he was returning at TLC. Why in the actual hell would you spoil his return by having him on Monday Night Raw?
This was a way, look, I talked to Wayne a little bit about this. And you know, what I love about Wayne is what I hate about him, that he always tries to find the meaning of why WWE is doing stuff.
Even when there literally is no meaning to it.
And he always finds one, though, which I got to respect that. I mean, he's...
I mean, whether he's trying to blow smoke up our ass or pull it out of his ass, one or the other.
Well, I mean, and it does work. You know, with Roman Reigns, I asked him straight up. And I'm going to ask you, John. Speaking where we are going to be talking about Monday Night Raw here, the Slammy Awards, he won Best Superstar of the Year. I totally think that's a load of crap. And I told Dwayne that. I think, why the hell would Roman Reigns be given that honor? Especially when a guy like Seth Rollins have been, and Dean, just think about Dean Ambrose. He actually became, over the holiday here in Thanksgiving, the #1 selling T-shirt online, which is huge. I mean, he beat out John Cena. Not a lot of people can say that.
Wait, he beat out Cena?
He beat John Cena in sales, which is unbelievable. So, if anything, Dean Ambrose deserves this. So this was a way of them bringing him back, but I just do not agree with it at all. I think what happened was that, dude, and this is going back to a Brock Lesnar, what the F? Like, what's going on here? So what happened is that, again, Brock Lesnar has an allotted amount of dates he could actually appear. He was slated to be appearing at this Monday Night Raw. And since they had to restructure that because they wanted him for an extra event down the line, why waste him in December when you could bring him for an extra show to sell WrestleMania? They needed to bring somebody in. Dean Ambrose is there every week. Roman Reigns has been on the sidelines, and we've seen Daniel Bryan recently, and he's even at Tribute to the Troops filming some stuff with them today in Georgia. So who was the other guy to kind of bring in that people miss? It's Roman Reigns. And that goes to your question, why the hell are they spoiling it? I think that's the only reason. I'm going to go back to it's because of Brock Lesnar in a sense.
I don't know. I mean, I'm happy to see Roman Reigns back, and to be honest with you, I can see where you're coming from, where you think it's BS that Roman Reigns is the superstar of the year, but at the same time, if it's a legitimate fan vote, which I highly doubt that it really is, then I could understand why he won, because he's arguably the most popular of that bunch.
And do you remember the entire list? It was what?
John Cena, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton. Hold on, let me look it up really quick. I actually just passed it. They just finished Roman Reigns' acceptance speech. Where I'm at on Raw, so now I'm at the lovely main event of John Cena Big Show 9462, Part B. Momentarily. Very slow internet tonight. Perks of a nor'easter coming through, what can I say?
So, as you're looking that up, I thought Dean Ambrose was definitely on that list. Are you having a tough time there,
I am
John?
having a tough time. But you know what? While I'm looking for this, I really hope it snows like a bitch tonight and tomorrow for one reason. You know, my store is gonna be so slow tomorrow. It's gonna be so dead. And then I get the next day off. It's gonna be nice. All right, we're almost there. It's like we went back in time, folks, to the year 2000. I'm waiting for the old AOL sound
What do you got
effect.
the whole AOL? We should get that actual sound. Oh, that's what I used to do with that. I used to hate it back in the day. Hearing
All
that,
right.
you know what? It wasn't too bad though. It wasn't too bad.
Randy Orton really wasn't on this list. I'm a little surprised about that, considering he spent a quarter of the year as the World Heavyweight Champion. But that's neither here nor there. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose, John Cena, Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, Bray Wyatt. You know, I gotta say, if you're anybody out there is a fan of heel book, then I gotta redo this. And sorry for the F bomb. Let's try this again. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, Bray Wyatt, and Dean fucking Ambrose.
You see that they definitely brought in Roman Reigns just to bring him in. After that list, I mean Brock Lesnar, after everything he's done this year, should pretty much take it. Honestly, Dean Ambrose, Brock Lesnar would be on the top of my list. And what the hell? Wait. Roman Reigns just happens to be backstage. Yeah, all the votes went to Roman Reigns. Kiss my royal ass. They brought him out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Main Event Madness was brought to you by the FCC.
Oh, and let me hashtag that. Hashtag FCC. Go fuck yourself. All right, sorry. All right, we're getting a little bit out of control here, but it's okay. It's Main Event Madness. We're
It's
live.
prime time Main Event Madness.
Prime time, and this is what happens in prime time. You can curse your freaking brains out. You're gonna put the explicit thing, right?
Yeah, I'll put the explicit thing on it. I should probably find some bleeping sound effect.
Go bleep yourself.
Hello to the 19 listeners right now for Main Event Madness. How are you all tonight on this blustery, cold fucking night here in upstate New York, or in where Al lives, a not so blustery fucking cold night in Miami?
You know what? We should do this more. I like fucking cursing. I'm a fucking F-bomb waiting to fucking happen.
You know what? I'm going to call us out on the air. Maybe that's what we need. Maybe we just need some fucking cursing on this show.
Yeah, fuck it. I mean, everyone else fucking curse. I mean, look at Colt Cabana's fucking show. And what? Wait. What's up with the UFC? They fucking curse every other word. I love it. Yeah, CM Punk, I never seen him curse so much as that one night that he became a UFC fighter. I mean, all of his press release, everything was his cursing left, right, on all of his interviews. I love it.
You just listen to Punk. I'm so fucking excited to be here. Can't wait to fucking kick these guys' fucking asses.
Fuck everybody. I'm the fucking best in the fucking world. I am fucking CM Punk. And
you know, speaking of him, and that's a nice way to segue into our top story of the week. Did you see who is? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, in case you weren't noticing. I wonder if I just got a notification on here. Okay, you retweeted me. I thought it was the FCC. I would have laughed my ass off. I don't think we're big enough to be noticed by them, so I think we're good. Yes, in case you've been living under a rock, which I'd love to know the size of a rock you people are living under if you weren't aware of this, or you just don't care, that's your prerogative. But if you don't care, what the hell are you doing listening to a sports and wrestling podcast? Nonetheless, CM Punk has officially signed on to become a mixed martial artist in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC, for those of you who don't know what an acronym is. And it's a little interesting for me, because the original Green Power Ranger, Jason David Frank, as soon as Punk announced that he was signing with UFC, Jason David Frank issued a challenge to CM Punk for his first fight in the UFC. Al, would you or would you not like to see CM Punk fight the Green Ranger?
I'll tell you this.
Even you're not too old for the Green Ranger.
And winning an actual fucking fight, and the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
He is a mixed martial artist, though, who's won several bouts.
Oh, you see that I wasn't aware of. I thought he was just talking smack out of.
No,
You know what?
he
You're right,
is a legitimate martial artist.
Well, I really, it would be a little bit too gimmicky for me.
Now, does he? I've never watched his fight, so I don't know if he fights in the Ranger suit or not.
Well, if he comes in the Green Ranger suit, I'll take that.
Actually, he doesn't. He's got the whole fight shorts, and he's legit. But
no, I mean, I want to see something. I don't want to see some bullshit like that. I mean, I got so much shit to say about CM Punk, and I don't even know where to start with this guy. I want to say that I hate him or dislike him, but then at the same time, I can't say it because he's got some balls to do what he's doing. Well, what I hated from him, or I hate is the strong words. Let me not say that I hate him. What I disliked what he did.
He fucking hates him.
No. That's stupid because I don't even fucking know the guy. I mean, if anything, it's fucking great what he's doing.
Yep.
But CM Punk, he came out with this damn interview, and this is why people are thinking this is a work. And I don't know if you've seen these rumors up lately, but a lot of people are saying that it might be a work, and I'm not going to get into that because then we're going to start talking about Tupac and all this bullshit because everyone starts trying to come up with their conspiracy theories. Yes, Tupac is still dead, and I feel like, no, this was not a work by the WWE and UFC because the only one benefiting from this would be the UFC, you dumbasses out there.
Now watch WrestleMania 32 be headlined by CM Punk versus Tupac.
It will be a hologram, but hey, I'll fucking take it. That's the closest thing we'll get to it. He came out with this huge interview, and it broke the internet.
Literally.
It's been broken a lot, and I'm going to tell you this, WrestlingNewsReport.com was broken on Saturday night, and it's been getting great numbers. I know Wrestling News, and we're wrestling site, so wrestling-news.net as well. Great numbers because of the CM Punk. I mean, hell, I created an MMA section on a Wrestling News Report before it happened. People were saying that, oh, you did it because no, it was on Thursday and this shit happened to come out. I didn't know that was happening. So CM Punk came out with Colt Cabana with that first interview about 2 weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure you and Matt spoke about it last week. Is that correct?
We spoke about the first interview.
The first interview. The second one, nobody gave a shit about because nobody cared anymore. But he pretty much called out everybody. He was bitching about staph infections, bitching about being hurt, bitching about how he was being treated. He was talking about Ryback. He called everybody out. And
Ryback?
Ryback, I'm sorry. I do that every once in a while. I'm a Cuban spick from Hialeah or from Miami.
I can't say that word, so I'll trust you.
You can say it. You're like a brother from another mother. You're almost a spick anyway. Anyways, sorry.
Not quite, but we'll go with that.
Very far from it. You haven't even touched Miami yet. So, no, but I mean, what were your feelings? Take away this MMA stuff that came out. And this is why I was so upset I couldn't do last week's show. What were your thoughts? I mean,
wait. This is why you didn't do the show? A bit. Reason I was upset. I was like, you genuflicked.
No. This is one of the reasons why I was upset. That I couldn't do the show because I wanted to talk to you about it. So I want to try to get your natural reaction. And I know you're busy. You probably didn't hear the whole 2-hour interview. I didn't either.
Actually, I did.
You did have the chance?
Yeah, both of them.
Okay, so the first one. What were your thoughts? I mean, how did you come off of it? Take the MMA stuff out of your mind because my initial opinion was that CM Punk's a little crybaby little bitch, and doesn't deserve to ever walk into the wrestling ring ever again.
I was a little shocked, to be honest. None of us really know whether or not Punk was telling the truth. The only people who know what happened with Punk's situation is Punk and the WWE. And by WWE, I mean Vince and Triple H. I came away from it a little bit, viewing WWE in a slightly different light. I actually spoke to the contributor to this show, I guess you could say, Emma Ginsburg, about the interview, and he and I both agreed, that you retweet, really?
Keep on focus.
Just saw your tweet. Sorry about that. We talked about how if WWE really ignored the staph infection and really forced everything with the injuries and stuff like that, then um, WWE should be viewed a little bit differently. Maybe not as much on the pedestal as we thought it would. Maybe it's not the land of sunshine and rainbows and the yellow brick road and everything else that people make it out to be. Maybe it's really the kind of miserable place that some people have kind of painted a picture about it. But, after saying that, hearing the second part of the interview, he kind of contradicted himself in that he said throughout the first interview, time and time again, he doesn't want to sound like a disgruntled, pissed off former employee, yet after he got done with the second interview, he sounded like a disgruntled, pissed off ex-employee. So I'm a little bit torn on it. I could kind of see, and I'm kind of intrigued if he's telling the truth and if WWE is really in the shape that it is, or is he just lying to try to get publicity before he goes to UFC?
And it could be the timing of it is key. I think it's a combination. He was able to say, "Look, wrestling fans, this is why I left. This is what I felt." And at the time when I initially heard it, I felt that he was a douchebag. Oh, but at the same time, I made me sound like a prick for saying that because, well, think about it, John. If you were able to come up and say, you know what, go to your boss and say, you know what, fuck you. I'm tired of your shit. And he was able to do that. And he did it straight to Mr. McMahon's face, and he said, you know what, I'm done. He pretty much said that he was done, and he walked out on the company, and he got tired of the shit. Steve Austin did the same thing. What I don't like is that he started name-calling people. And he name-dropped Daniel Bryan, saying Daniel Bryan went at his eyes when he didn't want him to. He name-dropped Ryback. The name-dropping shit I didn't like. You could have just said, look, I didn't like management. I didn't like the fact that I was claustrophobic. I didn't like that I couldn't do what I wanted. You could say that. Don't start name dropping on the coworkers.
You know who I think came away from it looking the worst is Roman Reigns. At least from the second interview. If you heard the second interview, he was told, hey, we're gonna put you over, but you need to make Roman look really, really strong. Like, okay, if you're told that, why do you have to tell people that? I mean, you got a guy who's coming back from an injury, who's looking to have a rocket ship propelled up his ass going into WrestleMania, and then you got all these people now, all these little internet marks, like I was just arguing with a bunch of them today. Oh my God, Roman Reigns is so boring. We got to make him look really strong. Oh my God, Roman Reigns and his 5 moves of doom. I don't know. People, I swear to God, if CM Punk told people to go jump off a bridge, there's people who would do it.
Yeah, and he does that song. What is it? Cult-like following, whatever the hell it says at the beginning. It's true. He does have like a cult-like following. Everyone loves the guy. So from my raw emotion of that scene, I think this guy's a little bitch for complaining, bitching, and moaning. But we all do that. Our day jobs. You come to me, John. I come to you. I mean, I'm working from home and I'm bitching about my day job that I want to leave already. And I've already done the math and I know how I'm going to leave. It's one of those things that we're all going to find a reason to bitch about our employees. And CM Punk is 36 years old. He's been doing it for a long time. He got upset and he was obviously unhappy. I just didn't like some of the shit he was saying. And that's all it was. I just didn't like some of the shit he was saying. You came up into wrestling and you supposedly, a lot of the fans gave you their time and effort. And you know what? It's hard for me. I'm hearing myself speak right now, and I can think about people saying, well, what is it to you? Okay, you know what? You're right. I was just doing a fucking talk show here. My first initial response was, I felt like he was contradicting himself. I didn't like it. I didn't like the stuff he was saying, and I started to grow like, you know what? I went from saying CM Punk, I want you back, to CM Punk, get the fuck out of here. You know what? That's what happened. And then this shit came out on Saturday night. And now you got to sit back and say, well, there's three type of people, and CM Punk said it himself on one of his backstage interviews.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna ask you which one you are. He goes, I don't care if I know everybody's gonna tune in. I'm paraphrasing CM Punk. Excuse me, I'm still getting over this damn fucking cold here. I'm paraphrasing CM Punk here, where he says everybody wants to know now. This is kind of what CM Punk's saying. There's gonna be three type of people. First, the people that are gonna want to tune in to see me get my ass kicked. Second, the people that are gonna just want to see because they're intrigued. To see kind of like what happens, not really diehard fans, but they just want to see. And third, which is the one that I expired that happens, is people are going to come out and root me on and be behind my back. And he's obviously he's saying that as you're going to purchase the UFC pay-per-view whenever he appears. Me personally, when he said that, I said, you know what? I want to see you get your ass kicked. Because of all the bitching he did about the injuries. That was my initial reaction when I saw him speaking with MMAfighting.com. I forget the guy's name, and I'm sorry. He's Arian or something like that. What side would you be on of those three? That CM Punk, he said.
To be honest with you, probably somebody who's behind him and wants to support him. Because I've still been a fan of CM Punk ever since I saw him in WWE. He actually debuted in WWE the same time that I started watching WWE again. And I've always been a big supporter of his before the Summer of Punk, before you guys want to call me a bandwagoner and everything else. But, I'm very interested to see if CM Punk can thrive in an environment where you don't fight sometimes 3 times a night, sometimes 3 nights a week. You're fighting maybe at most 3 times a year. So for somebody who left WWE, was in pretty decent shape, all injuries aside, how he could translate that to a mixed martial arts career where we know Punk has numerous different training and only has to compete, a fraction of the time. But the biggest thing is, it said he signed a multi-fight deal. Now, that could be 2 fights. That could be 3 fights. That could be 10 fights for all we know. I wouldn't be the least bit shocked. What's John Jones? Is he welterweight?
I believe he's welterweight.
I wonder if they would put Punk, after a couple fights, in contention for John Jones.
I'll confirm with you. I don't know where he's fighting at right now, and that's probably horrible.
He said lightweight, maybe welterweight. That was what he said in the interview with Joe Rogan.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're talking about a big difference. If he were to go to lightweight, it's 15 pounds difference. Because I believe he said he was weighing at there was a point from when he left WWE, he was weighing at 215. He's like at 205, I think now, or 200. Wants to get down to 195, 185. There's a bunch of.
Okay, so
I don't know the whole.
John Jones is
John Jones is what, a lightweight?
Light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight, yeah. I mean, look, I'm intrigued. You know what? I'm not going to put I don't want to see anybody get their ass kicked. When I initially saw that, yes, I was like, you know what? You should get your ass kicked for bitching like a little girl about the injuries. You know how many wrestlers have done that? I can just think about Bruno Sammartino and Andre the Giant and all these freaking guys. John Cena, for the life of me, who was wrestling with a damn ball in his elbow. The size of a softball. I saw it. It just wrestling takes. You're gonna get your ass kicked, and there's guys out there that are busting their ass. I'm talking about independent wrestling, ROH, soon to be GFW, TNA, GFW. By the way, Jeff Jarrett will be on our show a couple weeks here, or actually next week, I think. So it's a little nice name drop there. But wrestlers get their ass kicked, and you're gonna feel pain. It's just a whole correlation of whatever the case is. But all right, initially I want to get his ass kicked, but you know what? I am intrigued. If he's able to do this, man, I'll say, fuck, dude, that is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I know I can't do it. I
Nope.
can't do it now. I mean, he's got a huge hill to ride. He's always been an MMA fan, and I know he's trained a little bit here and there. But now he's going to go into full-fledged MMA training. I mean, you know, it's funny. I was daydreaming today. I was looking through the news on my phone at the hospital, and I was like, imagine if CM Punk, for some reason, he's locking the guy in the corner for a second. He says, all right, I'm going to do a suplex. He goes back to his wrestling mentality because that's what he knows. Why do I say that? Brock Lesnar, you know, he's a beast, but he was a wrestling champion, you know, NCAA. And, you know, it's different. You know, I mean, CM Punk doesn't have that background. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see if CM Punk will have the ability to become an actual fighter. And UFC is taking a calculated risk. You know what? Dana White, it saddens me to say this, John, and I want to go deeper into the CM Punk situation.
Okay.
CM Punk does have that cult following, that he's a badass.
Yep.
Teenagers look up to him. We thought he was going to be like a Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he pretty much was. He was a badass in wrestling. And, you know, there's so much question marks in wrestling. Yeah, we see all these independent independent companies coming up. House of Hardcore is doing great. TNA just got a new television deal. Global Force Wrestling with Jeff Jarrett is coming to fruition. They're going to have hosting the first pay-per-view next year. There's a bunch of there's in Miami alone. There's a new Raw in wrestling. Independent wrestling is thriving, but WWE has been on a weird, you know, sports entertainment trend, and I feel that this is a huge impact in the wrestling industry, and it's beyond, you know, just CM Punk leaving. CM Punk was a major. CM Punk hasn't been in a wrestling ring for how long? He hasn't been relevant for how long now? I think it's 10 months.
Almost 11.
He broke the internet twice within 10 days of each other.
Mm-hmm.
It was top 3 searched person. He hasn't been seen. So what it reminded me of was this. When the Monday Night Wars, when WCW just started purchasing WWE talent, and you were like, holy shit, WCW is badass. I want to see this. The NWO is badass. Now you're like, CM Punk is going to UFC. CM Punk is bringing in millions of dollars, and I would not be surprised that he will hold the record of most pay-per-view buys on top of Brock Lesnar when it's all said and done, when he gets into the octagon. And I think it's huge, especially in the time where we're looking at WWE, and man, I love wrestling, but I'm getting bored of that product. You know, it's getting really boring. I mean, I couldn't watch the whole show. I went to my wife yesterday. I'm like, man, Jenny, I can't see this anymore tonight. I'll put on the football game. I just couldn't do it. So I think it's a big deal. Am I reading too
No,
much
because
into
we're both
John?
kind of in the same boat on that. Because I was reading up before I left work the other night what happened during the Slammies, and I'm like, you know, I usually hate the fact that I can't be on Raw, or watching Raw, rather. And the last few weeks, I'm like, you know what? Not for nothing. I'm happy I've been working. It'd be like some of those shows back a few months ago where I'd be home watching Raw and I'd fall asleep. So
I remember that, yeah.
I don't know. I've been happy that I haven't been home for Raw. But I mean, you know, nothing else. And like I said, we're going to talk about this in our second hour. Is TLC or TLCS, whatever the hell it's being called now, being overshadowed by NXT Our Evolution or what? Because that is all WWE fans are talking about. They're not
But man,
talking about John Cena versus Seth Rollins. They're not talking about Ryback versus Kane in the chairs match. They're sure as hell not talking about Eric Rowan versus The Big Show in a fucking stairs match. Why don't they just name it Extreme Rules? It's what it is. Why do you have to have two of the same fucking pay-per-view every year? I know I'm getting off topic here, but I mean nobody's caring about these matches. No, what people are caring about is whether or not Sami Zayn is going to become the NXT champion. Whether or not Sasha Banks is going to beat Charlotte. Is this Charlotte's last match before she goes to the main roster? That's what most WWE fans are interested in.
it's one of those things that wrestling has been a cool. Wrestling comes in waves, and unless it's cool is like you want it to be cool again, and right now it just seems strange, and I'll tell you what, even this Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose, it is not living up to what I want. Him coming out to the ambulance, and the ambulance was white with smoke coming out. It just seems
cheesy.
Yeah, it didn't. I know Dean Ambrose tried it. How many times are we going to see the fucking chairs, the fucking air, and they're fucking throwing it? We're fucking going to throw it on the aisle this time because the fucking ring we've done it 10 times. I'm sick. Maybe I've been watching this shit too fucking long. That's the problem. Let me tell you something. Ivan Ginsberg, I love this. This guy's been awesome, and you know what? He's been with a friend of the show. He's going to be on the show a lot in 2015. He's got me back into watching boxing again. The art of boxing is beautiful. It's real. Like you don't know what the hell's going to happen. MMA, holy shit, that's fucking exciting. I think I'm getting tired of the fucking gimmicks.
You know what? It's kind of good that you're mentioning that because I woke up today and was looking at some news, and apparently a lot of people are wondering, is Punk's UFC debut going to be a worked fight? And by worked fight, I don't mean is it going to be a faked fight, but is it going to be predetermined? Are they going to set him up with somebody they know he's going to beat, or something like that? Because you're not going to have Punk come in with all this publicity, with all this notoriety, and lose his first fight. Granted, yes, Brock Lesnar lost his first fight. I don't think that they'd still do that, though.
No, they wouldn't do that. I mean, Dana White's a fucking genius. And I don't care what anyone says. I've always respected. My wife thinks I'm crazy.
You are crazy, but that's beside the point.
But I'm fucking crazy for all the right reasons, right? So
something like that.
At least I convinced myself that I am. But Vince McMahon. I hate to say that I've seen him once or twice, 3 times in my life. I respect what Vince McMahon has done. There's not too many people I look up to, especially celebrity-wise, because I'm not fucking like that. But what Vince McMahon has done for wrestling, it's impressive. He does. This is the only show in history that does 52 new shows a year. Wait, that's only Monday Night Raw. So you're talking about over 100 shows. That's including SmackDown. Wait, that's not even true because then you got to have NXT. They're doing 200 shows a year plus of new programming. Unfucking believable. I'm going to tell you who's the next genius is Dana fucking White. UFC has grown into a global phenomenon. It's fucking amazing what he's done, and he's a genius in his own right. Because I feel that he's bringing in CM Punk. What's the risk? Dana White's not in the fucking octagon. He doesn't give a shit if CM Punk wins or loses. He's confirmed that CM Punk, if CM Punk has got 4 fights in him, because that's probably what they signed, 3 to 5 fights. All right, depending on his health, CM Punk wants to push fighting until he's 40, so that's probably 1 or 2 fights a year. If we're lucky, if he doesn't get too fucked up. What does it matter to Dana White if CM Punk is 0-4? he's going to become a fucking multi-millionaire again because of CM Punk. And CM Punk is going to become even more wealthier. He's probably going to get his ass kicked. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's going to prove us wrong. But Dana White's a fucking genius for doing what he's doing, and he picked the biggest wrestling free agent of all time, of recent history, to go ahead and sign. And it's unbelievable. This is something that we never heard of, and I think it's pretty cool. All right, we're live here. We're going to be live now. We're going to be on demand later. This is Main Event Madness with John Curry. John, are you live with me?
I am live with you.
All right, sounds good. Do you agree that I'm crazy, or you think
You are
that
crazy.
Dana White is?
But we're gonna give you are crazy, but we're gonna give you a little bit of a breather to rebound from being crazy, guys. We're gonna take a commercial break here. We're 45 minutes in, and we've hit. Maybe, if you want to be generous, we've hit 2 topics. We got a jam-packed show coming up, including a possible WWE return, MLB Hot Stove, my Brooklyn Nets going absolutely fucking crazy, and I can't wait to rant about this, and much more. NXT TakeOver, WWE, TLC. We got much more. A TNA contract update that's not Kurt Angle, and a WWE contract update. Much more coming on Main Event Madness. We're only getting started. We're 45 minutes in. We got many more minutes to go. Stick around. We'll be back in just a few minutes. So you're cruising around the internet looking for some entertainment. What if I told you there's a hard-hitting, fresh, and opinionated podcast out there covering everything from WWE and TNA to the NFL, the NBA, and MLB? Well, that's reality. Main Event Madness is here. Don't miss us every week on MainEventMadness.com, as well as on TuneIn Radio and Stitcher.com. Main Event Madness, our wrestling, your sports, simply madness. From the associate producer of The Wrestler, Evan Ginsberg, comes Evan Ginsberg's Legends TV, co-hosted by Steve Ludwig, featuring legends in sports, pro wrestling, and the arts. Lanny the Genius Poffo, Nicole Bass, Oscar from Men on a Mission, and million-selling music hitmakers like Martha Wash of the Weather Girls and Carol Douglas of Doctor's Orders fame appear regularly, as well as the greatest live indie musicians performing live in studio. Saturdays, 11 a.m. at legendstvnyc.com and madhousetv.com, archived 24/7. You missed the birth of your mother and father, don't you dare miss Evan Ginsberg's Legends TV. Looking for more than your average wrestling website? Looking for the fastest growing wrestling news site on the internet today? With quality news, results, and more. Wrestling News Report has everything you'd want in a wrestling website. Al Merriman has you covered with the latest and biggest stories of the day from all around the world of pro wrestling. Check them out today, WrestlingNewsReport.com. Hey you. Yeah, you. Looking for quality wrestling news with an international flair? Looking for results and news from around the world? Look no further than Wrestling-News.net. Wayne Daly and his crew have you covered from top to bottom, from WWE to TNA to the top independent companies from around the world. Check them out, Wrestling-News.net. Main Event Madness is our world, but coming later this month, the show becomes his world. Coming later in December, it's TNA founder and Global Force Wrestling founder and owner Jeff Jarrett. Visit Facebook.com/Main Event Madness for more information.
Ladies and gentlemen, EC3.
It's coming. Tyrus is coming. Main Event Madness is kicking off the new year with an all-new interview. Don't miss Wednesday, January 7th. Former WWE star Brodus Clay and now current TNA star Tyrus returns to Main Event Madness. You hear that? It only means one thing. David Hero returns to Main Event Madness, this time with best friend and TNA agent Al Snow. Don't miss David Hero and Al Snow Wednesday, January 14th, only on Main Event Madness. All right, guys. We're back here on Main Event Madness, and I didn't get a chance to make a commercial for this, but if you guys listen to over on ProWrestlingPowerhouse.com, um, there's a show called Wrestling's Week That Was, and on that show, Joel O'Brien, the host, announced that their show was presented by Main Event Madness. And coming up, we announced this Al a couple weeks ago, but coming up in I want to say a couple weeks or so, we're going to have their shows under our umbrella, just increasing our or I guess creating a network, increasing our reach. And I guess at this time, we also are being joined by Mr. Joel O'Brien of Wrestling's Week That Was. How are you, sir?
I'm very good, John. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. I think this is the first time the three of us have actually been in the chat at the same time. If Mr. Merriman is there.
I was out here as well. Where is he?
Hello. Oh, I'm here too. I'm sorry.
He's not paying attention to the show. We're live, folks. This is Main Event Madness.
I was like, holy shit, the three of us are on here at the same time.
There's nothing like live radio.
Oh, you gotta love it, Joel. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited about our future together. It's
Absolutely,
fucking awesome. I'm very excited. And how the hell was it interviewing Diamond Dallas Page? I know he talks a lot, and I kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit. I know that you guys had a great interview.
We absolutely killed. Yeah, we absolutely killed it a few weeks ago. That radio show is available via my Twitter account at Wrestling Break. Yeah, completely and utterly candid. I mean, like, the guy loves to talk, as you said, but at the same time, like, everything that he said was just all very relevant. There's so much information that I never knew about with Diamond Dallas Page. I mean, the guy's lived through it all, as I said in my interview. You know, like, he's been to AWA, WCW, WWE, done everything. So yeah, it was a hell of an interview and a hell of a feather in the cap for Wrestling's Rope Break.
Awesome, and I know you had a couple other people and whatnot, but I know you're going to be under the Main Event Madness umbrella. We're still tweaking all that stuff out, and I got to talk to the other guys. I haven't had a chance to get back to them, so I feel horrible about that. We've been real busy, and yeah, it's just been a little bit crazy over here, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, all these things take time, especially when you're adding, like, maybe like 1, 2, maybe even 3 shows next year in January. I mean, like, huge undertaking, and like all these things take time, and the people that are going to be joining with me, like, if you decided to bring on Bob Johnson and Heartbeat Radio, like, they've got a whole different kind of layer of radio that's completely different from us and completely different from Main Event Madness. So yeah, a lot to be excited about come next year. It's going to be really, really cool.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I've heard a couple of their shows. It's pretty cool. They didn't have a recent. It was a couple weeks back, and they had a show of. I think Flair was on. They were celebrating. Whose birthday was it?
Terry Funk's 70th birthday.
Yeah, I thought that was badass. They had all these guys, and they surprised Terry Funk. I thought that was pretty cool.
It was crazy, yeah. Like, Jay Leto, the owner of PWP, was just like on my Facebook messages, buzzing, going, "Hey man, you gotta listen to this now. We've got Dave Meltzer. Oh, now we've got now we've got Ric Flair. Holy crap!" And like, Ric Flair's announcing that he's going to be on Raw. And it's like, I think we actually got a little bit of mainstream publicity because Flair announced that he was going to be on the show on Raw.
Oh yeah, that got picked up everywhere. That was
picked up everywhere. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's definitely cool to kind of like befriend people that have connections like that. That's for sure.
Awesome. Well, we're midway through the show, and we're about at the hour mark, and I've gone on one hell of a CM Punk rant at the beginning here. We got a bunch of topics on. You want to join us with us for a little bit?
I can do it for another 15 minutes or so, definitely.
All right, sounds good, John. I don't know where the hell we're at with the show, and we've been dropping curse. I don't know. It's an explicit show. For mature audiences today.
Oh, so I can swear. Fantastic.
Yeah, you can swear today. That's fine. Fuck it.
Awesome, man. Fuck it.
All right, so let me ask you something, Joel. Here on Main Event Madness, we don't just cover pro wrestling, WWE, TNA, GFW, Ring of Honor, etc. We also cover, MLB, the Major League Baseball, or the National Basketball Association, NBA, NFL. Are you a basketball fan?
A basketball fan?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know basic stuff about what's going on in the NBA here and there. I have been, when I was in Miami for WrestleMania 28, me and my friend did actually go to see Oklahoma versus...
Whoa. I got to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
You were in Miami, Florida for WrestleMania 28.
Yep.
Mother son of a... Do you know what happened to me? You know I'm in Miami, right?
Oh, okay. Oh, no way.
I
Okay,
live in
tell me what happened.
All right. I have to tell... Because now...
He usually goes about it every month
Oh,
announcing something about this, so
all right.
get used to it.
I
He
can't
finds
wait.
some
I
creative
live
way to
with
mention
this
it.
every single day. My son was born WrestleMania weekend. I missed the Hall of Fame, David
Oh,
Hero
man.
shenanigans. I missed the freaking pay-per-view. My son's birthday this year, March 29th, on
No way.
WrestleMania 31. So I had to sell my tickets. My dream of going to WrestleMania. I love my son, but Jesus. That's, all right, that's awesome. I can't believe you were in Miami while my son was being born. That blows my mind right now. That is
Well,
awesome.
I've been to a few manias, and not to rub it in, Al, but that was a hell of a WrestleMania. And I'm sure
He's not joking when he says a hell of a WrestleMania. He's actually told me that was the best WrestleMania he's ever seen.
easily, easily.
Oh my God, you're making me.
While you were in the hospital, holding your newborn child, wondering what was going on,
That was your
getting
WrestleMania.
mobbed by fans because The Rock won at the end of the show and beat Cena. Nothing like it.
What I miss. I'll be honest. I've seen The Rock. I've seen a lot of. I really wanted to see that Taker match. It meant I really want the way it was billed. I was so upset that I missed. My wife's like, "Oh, you could go."
Oh, you
Imagine,
would?
Joel,
Yeah, sure.
if I would have gone, I would have been that husband. I went to WrestleMania and let his newborn child in his
And just to an aside, you'd be like, oh, well, at least I saw Taker and Triple H. Man, that was an awesome match.
Yeah, and then everybody in her family would hate.
Exactly right. Yeah.
But
One thing I'll just say about that match, everyone raves about it from a television standpoint. Live, it actually was a bit of a letdown because there was so much going on in that match that we had no idea what was going on. There was a lot of talking between Triple H, Michaels, Taker that was picked up on television, but we never heard it in the live arena. Add a Hell in a Cell around it, you're kind of like, what the hell is going on? But it was cool to see Taker take off his robe and then all of a sudden he's bald because everyone started a holy shit chant all over Miami. It's hilarious.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you were able to enjoy it. That's awesome.
Can I rub in something else here, Al?
I know John had asked you a question. I'm sorry.
Can I rub something else in here, Al?
What?
Mr. Joel O'Brien will be attending WrestleMania 31 in San Jose, California.
That is true.
That is awesome.
And
yours truly.
Oh, that's a definite. But I'll be representing Men Event Madness with my radio content.
Awesome.
It's all still in the works about what's going to happen there, but expect daily content if we can get it up there. But that's something to look forward to come March 29th.
Also,
awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely figure it out. I think that John, you're gonna have to take a week off. We shouldn't talk about this on here, but. Yeah,
yours
we'll
truly
see everything's gonna
will
work out. We're
be
gonna have a lot of exclusive coverage, and that's awesome, man. And I hope
super exciting, man. Super exciting.
also
have a great time over there. Yeah.
Yours truly will be at WrestleMania 31.
That's right. So we'll be doing a lot of dual stuff. I'm guessing, and drinking a few beers and shooting the breeze about hopefully a good weekend of wrestling. That's for sure.
See, the worst part, and I'm calling Matt out. He's not on the show, but I'm sure he's going to listen at some point here. You know, the worst part is if somehow we go to that charity event you were talking about, Joel.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to pry Matt away from Paige because he has the world's largest crush on Paige, and he will probably try his damnness in every way possible to get her number.
It's a rookie mistake to be all lovey-dovey with the superstars, man. Treat them like equals, and they'll just sit down and chat with you for as long as they want. That's from my experience of running into people. When I was at TNA Lockdown last year in 2013, we stayed in the same hotel as the wrestlers, which was really awesome. And I literally sat down at a bar with Jeff Hardy and chatted to Jeff Hardy for about half an hour about everything but wrestling. But we talk about wrestling, you treat these people like normal people, and before you know it, it's like they'll give you the time of day any time of the day.
Joe, you were at the one in Miami?
No, I was. So that was San Antonio, Texas, in 2013.
Oh, okay, man. I went to the last year's TNA lot. I was about to say if we would have been in the same hotel. Because that's way coincidental. All right. That's awesome.
We're very, very weird, yeah.
All right, okay, awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit of wrestling. I know you don't have too much time. John, what were you asking before we went off?
Yeah, I'll get to my rant about the Brooklyn Nets after. So, A contract update with TNA. Mr.
Yep.
Austin Aries apparently has, been in the talks lately that he would be leaving TNA. He was rumored to be the next one leaving. I know we'd actually talked about it either in the early weeks of Main Event Madness or the later weeks of Wrestling 365. Supposedly on Twitter, he had actually refuted those reports and now is rumored to have signed a new deal with TNA. How do you guys feel about Austin Aries re-signing with TNA if he did in fact re-sign with TNA? And are you upset that he may not be going to WWE like people were hoping?
Well, I'll just very quickly go first. I mean, like, they must be doing something right, though. They must be offering something to these guys that are staying. I mean, like, as far as I know, Kurt Angle is re-signed with TNA coming into next year, and that's a massive coup for them when they re-debut on Destination America. I mean, I guess I'm a little bit disappointed because like these guys like the Bobby Roodes, the James Storms, and the Austin Aries, they're kind of running out of time before they become like too old to join the system, the WWE system, and I guess I am kind of a little bit disappointed, but like Austin Aries staying on that roster, I think that's a definite feather in the cap for TNA going forward because that's one way to kind of make them different from WWE. It's those kind of superstars and those kind of matches that those guys can have. They can only have in TNA. So I guess it's a coup for TNA, but yeah, I would love to see him in WWE eventually.
I mean, definitely with Austin Aries, I mean, he's one hell of a talent. And I agree, I think he's getting older. And what happens is, even if you look at a guy like AJ Styles, Joel, you know that he'll never go to the WWE because he's just too old. And I don't know, what are they going to do? They're going to shove him in NXT and try to bring him up? He'll never be that superstar in WWE, so that's what I get worried about. I think Austin Aries would have a more success in the independent scene. Although I would have loved to see him in WWE, I don't think we'll ever see it. And just like Bobby Roode and even James Storms, these are guys I wanted to see move on from TNA. And I
Bobby Roode especially.
if it's possible. Yeah, Bobby Roode. I met the guy at the TNA Lockdown in Miami, and he was in character the whole time. I'd love to see that. Oh, yeah, the whole time. I went to James Storms with, I go to James, and I'm like, dude, is this fucking guy, is he serious right now? He starts laughing. He's like, yeah, he's always in character. Because, he was with David Hero, talking shit and having a good time, and he's out there with the fans being an a-hole. And I love that dedication. And Bobby Roode is a special guy. And just imagine, if a guy like Bobby Roode, if WWE were to sign him, what are they going to do with him? They're going to... I just don't know if they know what to do with them, So it's just one of those things that they're going to have to be where they're at for now, and that's going to be their career.
Yeah, I mean, like, just WWE right now, I'm so down on WWE's current product at the moment, and when you look at new guys that have been added to the whole roster, and Bobby Roode was to be added to that roster, I'm not exactly sure if they would know what to do with them, like you said. It's simple. It's not hard to know what to do with Bobby Roode. I mean, he just put a rocket to his back and send him to the top, and like his in-ring work and his character work will do the rest.
And the problem is that we know TNA. Half of the WWE universe doesn't even know they exist. So the problem is when you get a guy like Bobby Roode, we see him as a star, but the WWE universe doesn't. So if you got and management understands that. So if you try to bring in this guy from another company and try to make him into a mid-carder, nobody knows who he is. Nobody's gonna care. So it's gonna take time for the crowd to get his back. So he's getting older, and I just don't. I don't see it happening. It sucks. It's one of those things.
Yeah. What do you think about this, John?
See, and I was just gonna ask you guys. I wish he would come back, but I don't think he would. I think he's past his prime. But let me ask you, if you had to pick Austin Aries, Jeff Hardy, or Bully Ray, or Robert Roode, of those four, who do you think is the most likely to be in WWE at some point in, say, the next 3 to 5 years?
I mean, I'll go straight up and say Bully Ray. I think Bully Ray's got the connections. He's got he's buddy with Paul Heyman. There's he's got a lot of friends in WWE. He's still, I think, on the best run of his career. The whole Bully Ray character is just it's Bully Ray times 1,000. You know what I mean? Like that's his actual himself, and I just see him doing some really good things in WWE if they decide to bring him in. I think if WWE continues on the way they're doing it, with the whole like the thinness of the babyface roster and legitimate stars. I mean, they're gonna have to start getting behind some people and maybe like going to outside avenues, like bringing in Bully Ray. Jeff Hardy's had his time. I mean, like Jeff Hardy is one of the biggest sad cases when it comes to what he could have been in WWE, and he had so many opportunities, and there were so many times where he was like on the cusp of just being something amazing. But his own personal demons kind of let him down. So yeah, Bully Ray's my kind of pick.
And I agree with you with Bully Ray. And we had this conversation on Main Event Madness a few weeks ago. What concerns me about Bully Ray is that everybody in the WWE universe remembers him as a part of the Dudley Boys. Again, it goes back to you, me, and John, or you, John, and I, if you want to be politically correct there, understanding the TNA product and seeing it and being a fan of the product and understanding what Bully Ray could do. But when it comes to the WWE universe, 80% of them remember him as a Dudley boy. And I don't know how. The thing is, I don't think that WWE creative and WWE management would say, here's a microphone, go be Bully Ray. I don't think they'll be able to do that. It's just, I would love to see the character, Bully Ray, as he is now in TNA, in a WWE roster. But I don't know if WWE's capable of understanding the not the amount. What's the word I'm looking at? The and I can't believe I'm forgetting the word. The bankability, the ability of Bully Ray. I don't think they can see
the credibility.
The credibility or the substance. The substance of what Bully Ray could bring to their roster.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna have to go like right after I say this, and I'll just say ahead of time, guys. Thanks very much for having me on. If anyone wants to follow me, just follow me on Twitter at WrestlingRBreak, capital W, capital R, capital B, and I'll follow you back, and we can start talking wrestling. But before I go, we're just talking about Bully Ray and how people like the WWE universe doesn't understand the character, right? Okay, I understand that. But then I look at NXT and I look at Kevin Owens debuting in a few days on NXT Takeover, and that Kevin Owens character is Kevin Steen. Like, he is Kevin Steen to the core, you know, like, and that kind of gives me hope that maybe someone like Bully Ray, when he comes back in, they can kind of keep to what he's all about. And, you know, we live in hope. I think that's one thing about wrestling fans. When you've been like wrestling fans for many, many, many years, we live in hope. We always hope for a better day tomorrow. So that's what I got to say about that.
I agree, and thank you so much, Joe. I know you got to get back to your things, and look forward to our future together, man. It's going to be great, man. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it too, man. Thanks for the opportunity, Al, and John. I'll be definitely talking to you very, very soon. So thanks for having me on.
All right, sounds
No
great,
problem.
man.
Take
Keep
it
on
easy,
kicking
dude.
ass, bro. We'll talk.
All right,
guys.
We're both in
that
the
was-
same mindset there, yeah.
What was that? I'm
I
sorry.
said we were both in the same mindset there.
What's that?
We were both about to be like, all right, guys, so. But.
Oh, okay. That was Joel O'Brien. At the beginning of that, of him coming on the show, you know, he's interviewed some great people. Matt Morgan. We were able to get Diamond on his page for him, and he's has his own podcast. He's overseas, and he's going to become a part of our family here. And we're looking at Bruce Hart's radio show, and they're going to most likely be a part of us, which we need to get back to them probably tonight. I feel bad that we haven't gone back to them, John, and I'm calling ourselves out. So,
well, I've been in the process of it. I've added Bob Johnson on Facebook. I just haven't gotten the message.
Yeah, talk to him. I told him you guys were going to talk. But yeah, I mean, a lot of great things for Main Event Madness coming here up in the next year. We have some big dreams here, and we have a lot of great people that we've come to learn to connect with, and like you said, befriend. And you know, I'm tired. You know, I've been doing this wrestling thing for so long. We have a lot of great people doing a lot of great things. It's pretty badass that some of us are coming together to work as a team.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited, and it gives me almost chills on my spine.
It's just awesome that so many people have the same goal And, in an industry, I guess we could kind of say that we're radio podcasts. It's as competitive as it is, that you have six, 7, 8 guys coming together, just, if nothing else, uh, to just get the most entertaining and the greatest podcast out there for people.
Yeah, and if we have, one hub, I'm just excited, man. I mean, it's gonna be pretty cool. I mean, Bruce Hart. I mean, Terry Funk was on it. Ric Flair, the Evan Ginsberg. And you know what's funny about it? That when they we created with Evan Ginsberg and John Cena too. He's an awesome person, and not too many people know this. Only one person knows it, and maybe my wife. And now the world's gonna know it. In about 8 days, I've lost 10 pounds, and Evan Ginsberg has been giving me a couple tips, and it's pretty badass. So it's pretty cool, and I was just excited about the future of Main Event Madness, and it's not only Main Event Madness. We're bringing a lot of great people. It's going to be awesome, and hopefully we'll have a daily show every day. You guys got to listen to different people, not only John and I rant about the shit that we ran about. And you know what, John?
I'm listening.
Are you alive? Yeah. I am so glad we're fucking cursing finally. No laugh, no nothing? Okay, I'm sorry.
So you think it's a big deal. Oh boy, the 11 o'clock news. Time to find out how fucking cold and blustery and snowy it's going to be. Woohoo! Alright, yay! But, you know what? We really didn't talk that much this entire show so far. So what I think we're gonna do, we're gonna take another quick commercial break. When we get back, we are diving headfirst into the remainder of our show. We got about another 45 minutes or so left on the air. We are diving headfirst. I have a rant coming up about the Brooklyn Nets. If time permits, I got an MLB hot stove segment I want to get to. The Yankees made some signings and did not make a signing that I'm very 50-50 about. Also, WWE TLC this Sunday. Are we in favor of the card? Do we think it'll be a good show? Is this going to be one of those pay-per-views that WWE has that, when it doesn't get much attention, it flies so far under the radar and just fucking kicks ass? So, that's one thing we're going to talk about. And also, NXT R Evolution. We're going to run down the card and give our opinions about that. And, of course, a possible WWE return coming. But, like I said, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we get back, we're going to, like I said, dive headfirst and run through these topics. We're not going to bullshit. We're not going to ramble on about the fucking nor'easter and everything that's coming up my way, even though I am quite pissed about it and not liking the fact that when I wake up tomorrow, there's going to be several inches of white crap on top of my cars. Al, you are so fucking lucky you have no idea what that's like.
No, wait. No,
besides the month,
I lived in Seattle
for a cup of coffee.
I know about snow.
For a cup of coffee, but nonetheless, we're gonna take a commercial break. When we get back, lots of topics to come here. Main Event Madness. We're live. Spreaker.com/show/Main Event Madness. MainEventMadness.com. WrestlingNewsReport.com. Wrestling-News.net. We're all over the place. We'll be right back. So you're cruising around the internet looking for some entertainment. What if I told you there's a hard-hitting, fresh, and opinionated podcast out there covering everything from WWE and TNA to the NFL, the NBA, and MLB? Well, that's reality. Main Event Madness is here. Don't miss us every week on MainEventMadness.com as well as on TuneIn Radio and Stitcher.com. Main Event Madness, our wrestling, your sports, simply madness. From the associate producer of The Wrestler, Evan Ginsberg, comes Evan Ginsberg's Legends TV, co-hosted by Steve Ludwig, featuring legends in sports, pro wrestling, and the arts. Lanny the Genius Poffo, Nicole Bass, Oscar from Men on a Mission, and million-selling music hitmakers like Martha Wash of the Weather Girls and Carol Douglas of Doctor's Orders fame appear regularly, as well as the greatest live indie musicians performing live in studio. Saturdays, 11 a.m. at legendstvnyc.com and madhousetv.com, archived 24/7. You missed the birth of your mother and father. Don't you dare miss Evan Ginsberg's Legends TV. Looking for more than your average wrestling website? Looking for the fastest growing wrestling news site on the internet today? With quality news, results, and more. Wrestling News Report has everything you'd want in a wrestling website. Al Merriman has you covered with the latest and biggest stories of the day from all around the world of pro wrestling. Check them out today, WrestlingNewsReport.com. Hey you. Yeah, you. Looking for quality wrestling news with an international flair? Looking for results and news from around the world? Look no further than Wrestling-News.net. Wayne Daly and his crew have you covered from top to bottom, from WWE to TNA to the top independent companies from around the world. Check them out, Wrestling-News.net. Main Event Madness is our world, but coming later this month, the show becomes his world. Coming later in December, it's TNA founder and Global Force Wrestling founder and owner Jeff Jarrett. Visit Facebook.com/Main Event Madness for more information.
Ladies and gentlemen, EC3.
It's coming. Tyrus is coming. Main Event Madness is kicking off the new year with an all-new interview. Don't miss Wednesday, January 7th. Former WWE star Brodus Clay and now current TNA star Tyrus returns to Main Event Madness. You hear that? It only means one thing. David Hero returns to Main Event Madness, this time with best friend and TNA agent, Al Snow. Don't miss David Hero and Al Snow Wednesday, January 14th, only on Main Event Madness. All right, guys. We are back here, Main Event Madness. We are live. This is November. December 9th, 2014. Ow, can you believe it? We are 2 weeks away, almost, from Christmas. It's absolutely shocking to me that we're almost at the end of 2014.
Let me tell you what a hell of a year it's been. Holy hell. Wow. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe that it's the end of the year and it's Christmas. I haven't played Santa Claus yet, that's for sure. I gotta go to the stores, and I wish Tim Tebow was at my local Walmart.
Pay off some of that layaway. But anyway, let's dive right into this. Yes, we got a little bit of Christmas music going on in the back here, folks. Got a little bit in the holly jolly spirit, as if we haven't been giddy enough all night. All right, I'll turn the Christmas music off. All right, so I'm at work today, Al, and I get a notification on my phone. I get push notifications from Bleach Report.
That son of a bitch. Okay.
And what do I see from one of these push notifications today?
What's that?
The Brooklyn fucking Nets
win again.
Are officially taking a C4, some dynamite, a nuclear bomb, a nuclear warhead, and strapping them all together and taking that to their team. They have officially put Brooke Lopez, Darren Williams, and Joe Johnson all on the trade block.
Hell yeah, Brooke Lopez to the Miami Heat. Oh, sorry. That's true, right?
That's a true story.
Well, it's funny because I heard the end of it on a radio show today, and now it makes sense. Because they were talking about Brook Lopez possibly coming to Miami Heat, and that it might be a real possibility. What the hell's going on over there in Brooklyn? I mean, you're in the area. What the hell's going on with the team?
I have no idea. I haven't even been able to follow them this much this year. So I mean, I know right now they're 8-11, but I mean, hell, they were 10-21 last year, and they did blow the team up. I know. I mean, I know they have the three of them have the highest combined payroll of a threesome in the NBA, but I guess the Nets just don't think that it's going to get the job done. But
So it has nothing to do with their coach or management. I understand you guys got one. Don't you guys have that Russian owner?
yeah, Mikhail Prokhorov.
Sometimes when you spend a lot of money, doesn't mean shit, and I think that's the problem. And I think Jason Kidd, as much of a douchebag as he is, understood where management was coming from. They don't have a team atmosphere there. Brook Lopez is better than what he is, and if you go somewhere else, it's going to show. And I feel bad for the Brooklyn Nets. It's almost kind of like that Stephen Ross syndrome we have in Miami with the Miami Dolphins. He's a billionaire, but he's not really great. He doesn't know shit about football. And I think that's the same thing that's going on with you guys, and the same thing that's going on with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I don't know. But there were 4 trades that somebody had made mention of earlier. I saw, and I mentioned it to Wayne. And let me get your opinion of these 4 trades. Number 1. Where is it? Okay. Number 1. To the Charlotte Hornets goes Joe Johnson and Mirza Teletovic. And the Nets received Lance Stevenson, Marvin Williams, and Michael Gilchrist.
Okay.
Number 2. The Lakers received Brook Lopez, and the Nets received Jeremy Lin and Julius Randle.
Hell no, that's not going to happen.
Number 3. The Detroit Pistons received Darren Williams and Mason Plumlee, who's a second-year center, drafted last year. And the Nets received Greg Monroe, Brandon Jennings, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Joel Anthony, and a protected first-round draft pick. And lastly, and the one that I'd love to see that Detroit trade, but the last one, and I pray to God this never sees the light of day, even though these were fan picks for trades. The Knicks received Darren Williams, Brook Lopez, and Kevin Garnett. The Nets receive Amari Stoudemire, Andre Bargnani, Iman Shumpert, and Shane Larkin.
So you got nothing on the Miami Heat.
No. Not from what I saw that earlier. Ugh. You know, I'm really not ready. I thought it would be a couple more years before I had to go back and deal with another fucking rebuilding team. But for God's sake, 3 years into this, and the Nets are taking a fucking stick of dynamite to it. All right, we're done. It's like the Marlins, man. Except you guys have actually won championships.
Made it to the damn playoffs, right? You in the first round.
The last year we were out. 2 years ago we were out the first round. Last year we were out the second round.
I'm telling you, there's something a disconnect with the coaches, and you guys have a better team than what you guys produce. It's kind of like the damn Knicks. I don't understand what the hell's going on. You know, it's just
See, I don't think it's just that this time, because Lionel Collins is a good head coach, and he seems like he has a good rapport with his team. But I don't know. I just can't wait for baseball season, and then the Jets are horrible. The Nets are.
You know what? For the first time, I am on your freaking. I'm with you. They're talking about the Florida Panthers in Miami now. That they're the second best franchise besides the Heat. Knock, knock, knock. The Heat fucking suck this season. They're below 500. They're losing to shitty teams, which sucks. Fuck you, LeBron James, for leaving. I'm just gonna say that off rip. And the Dolphins. I mean, don't get me started with the Dolphins. I know we have a better record than the Jets,
You guys are still in the playoff picture, though.
We're barely.
Barely alive. You still have
John,
a heartbeat.
John. We've been where we're at for 10 plus fucking years. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like you're a fish, right? And they're dangling a piece of fucking bread on top of the water, but you can't jump high enough to fucking grab it. And that's how it's been for years as a Miami Dolphins diehard fan. They can never get above 500. They lost to a team on Sunday that we shouldn't have lost, and the Heat are. I can't compare myself to you with the Brooklyn Nets because at least the Heat has had
A dynasty?
their successes. Yeah, I can't. You know what? I was trying to make a correlation and I can't. I don't know what the disconnect is. I don't know if it's the management portion. Because you guys have a decent team put together. I mean, you don't have this superstar like a Kevin Durant. I thought Darian Williams would be coming into his own, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they need that young stud. I don't know what's going on there at all. And the problem with the NBA, maybe they see it like, you know what? Maybe it's time for us to tank. Because in the NBA, it's easy for you to tank, and you'll have a better chance of getting that lottery pick and all that stuff. So maybe that's what that Russian billionaire is looking at. I don't know.
But you know what's crazy, though? And, I mean, Darren Williams certainly doesn't deserve the rest of this contract. Brooke Lopez
because we talked about that at the beginning of the season. That
Brooke Lopez has a $16.7 million player option for next year. Joe Johnson's under contract for next year. $24.9 million next year. That was the Atlanta Hawks that signed him to that contract, by the way. And Darren Williams has 2 more years at $43 million combined, those 2 years. Good luck trading that and getting something good for it.
Nah, that's going to be difficult.
But hey, Kobe's a free agent this year. Maybe we could sign him. He's about 900 years old.
No, that's next season. Remember, we went through that crazy math a couple weeks back. He's got this season and next season. I think he has the option to come out of it.
Just so depressed, you know?
You know,
just
can I tell you something?
Just once I want my teams to do good. Just once. I won't even ask for it again. Can I just have the Yankees, the Nets, and the Jets just win championships 1 year? That's all I want. Just once.
I'll tell you what happened to the Brooklyn Nets. And you might not want to admit it today.
We got rid of Jason Kidd.
They become my Miami Marlins.
I just said that.
You said that?
I said it's like watching
you broke up on my end.
I said, yeah, it's like watching the fucking Marlins here.
But I thought that it's funny because I thought that's what you said. So it's like watching the fucking Marlins. But you know what I think? When everything changed, when Jay-Z decided to become an agent. You know, I really think that when he had to sell off because he put fucking Brooklyn Net on the map, on the actual map itself. Because on that transition, he did one hell of a job, and I'm telling you,
he's the one who designed
more money now.
I think he's the one who designed the Barclays Center.
He was the one, and the colors and everything. He brought excitement, and once he said "fuck it," I'm becoming an agent. I was like, I hate to say this because I'm a diehard Miami Heat fan. I was even excited to see the fucking Brooklyn Nets because I wanted to see what they were going to do, especially seeing what Jay-Z has done and the respect he was getting from the league. People wanted to come to Brooklyn because of Jay-Z. And he saw that as an opportunity, became a fucking agent, and Brooklyn got fucked. And it's sad because I really thought, I was looking at him like, shit, Brooklyn is going to become a dynasty, or at least a franchise each and every year. And once he decided to leave, everything changed. And that's what happened.
You're not the only one who thought that, though, because fucking ESPN, oh my God, they had the Nets on every damn night. They were cashing in, and then the Nets sucked.
But it was exciting to see what was going to happen next. That it's just sad. You know, it is what it is. They were building a brand. And we'll see what happens. I can't believe they put all these freaking guys on the trading block. I still don't believe it. To be quite honest with you, it's just crazy to me, you know.
Somebody's gonna bite. I mean, if I got to pick anybody here, I think not Brooke Lopez, Darren Williams would be the one to go.
No, bro, I swear to God, I think Brooke Lopez is gonna go too. I think maybe people would want Brooke Lopez than Williams.
I
Be quite
want
honest.
Joe Johnson if I have to pick one of the three.
Oh shit, Joe Johnson would be a great addition to a lot of teams, you know. But I'll tell you what, and this is gonna hurt me to say this too, because I would benefit as a Miami Heat fan to see LeBron James come over here. The NBA is gonna suck for a long time if guys like LeBron James could keep on doing what they're doing. Because they keep on building these monster powerhouses. And look at it. Just look at what's going to happen. You know, Cleveland just bought their fucking championship, whether it's this year or next year. We bought it too. They came together, whatever the case is. That's one thing I hate about the NBA is that right now there's only one huge fucking team, and it's the Cavaliers, if you look at what they're doing.
Not even the Golden State Warriors, dude.
Well, the Warriors
17-2 Golden State Warriors.
I'm going to agree with you there and disagree at the same time because I lived through the fucking Heat. They sucked at the beginning of the year. The Cavs have a huge chance. I mean, they're blowing people out of the water. If you've been looking at the results of their games, they're going to be fucking great in the playoffs. If they don't go, they'll go to the Eastern Conference and possibly win and go to the NBA Finals, maybe win or lose, kind of like the Heat. I hate that the NBA is so free like that because, I mean, look at the NFL. You don't know what's great about the NFL. Look at the Heat went to 4 finals in a row. And that's fucking awesome as a fan. But look at the NFL. I don't think there's been 4 of the same teams in the last 4 years in the NFL because there's so much more competition and it's harder to get there. And I think one of the reasons is because guys like LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh could come together, and now it's LBJ, Irving, and Love. You know, it's just I don't think that's good for business. If you want to go back to Vince McMahon and how much I adore the fucking guy, I mean, I think that it hurts business in a sense. I don't know if I'm. It's funny because if you hear me a year ago, I would be defending LeBron James, but I do think it hurts at the long run. Especially if they're able to keep on. What if the Cavs go for 4 years in a row or 5 years? Doesn't that suck for business? You don't want to see the same old shit. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, if you're a fan, you do. But other than that, you don't. And, you know, it's going to be interesting how long the NBA continues to patronize and kiss the ass of LeBron James. Probably as long as he's bringing them in money.
That's the truth. And you know what's funny? It's just thinking about how LBJ is so what he means to the NBA, and there were several super stars. I hate saying they're superstars. Fuck it. That wore a T-shirt saying that you can't breathe, and if you live in under a rock, the cops killed this guy, whatever, choked him to death. The media called the NBA stars out. But when LBJ did it, I think he's still on ESPN.com as a main story.
Of course, because ESPN is so goddamn biased with LeBron James and the New England Patriots and all this crap.
I'll tell you this, though. But when LeBron James was at a Miami Heat, when he was in the part of the Heat, everybody fucking hated him. They wanted to see him lose. Since he went to Cleveland, again, I don't understand the change. I really don't understand it. But that's a whole other topic. But I understand they are biased. They especially with the Patriots. They've always been on the Patriots' dick, and I don't understand that. I've never understood it. I've never understood it, and it just doesn't make sense to me if they're getting paid or what. This is crazy. What's funny is that they had a story talking about, you know, ESPN, the way that they made it so big was that they used to report real news. and somebody challenged him. I think it was a journalist that was retiring for ESPN to go back to that, to stop, going. They feel like ESPN has become the TMZ of the sports world. You know what I mean?
All
And
these
that's
news
what
outlets nowadays are
I'm
becoming.
sorry?
All these news outlets these days are like TMZ. I actually respect TMZ more than I do some of the places because they do what they're supposed to do. They're
And
the
what's that?
they're the paparazzi, but they admit it. They welcome it. They welcome the hate. They welcome everything that comes with it. All
They
these
don't
other
hide it.
places,
You're right.
all these other places pretend to be news, pretend to be this, that, and the other. Actually, we're talking about this, and it kind of is off topic, but kind of not. I woke up and I was watching the Today Show this morning, and they're in the middle of some segment, talking about like house repairs, like what you get the most return for. And in the middle of it, Al Roker breaks away. Oh, we got breaking royal family news,
Oh God.
and they
Well,
cut
tell me.
to the correspondent. Yep, they're leaving the hotel. They're getting into what looks like a bear or an entourage, and I believe they're heading to the 9/11 memorial.
What the?
Who the fuck cares? I mean, do people from England, when Barack Obama and Michelle Obama go overseas? Oh my God, Barack took a shit. Oh my God, Michelle's brushing her hair. Oh my God, Barack just went outside. Oh my God, he's getting in his own car? What is the big hoopla over the royal family? Okay, they're prince and princesses, real life. Whoop-de-doo, they're normal people. You could tell they didn't like it when you could tell they were uncomfortable by all the attention and everything. If you saw the video of them at the Nets game yesterday.
No, they were acting kind of strange. That's for sure.
Not for nothing. If I'm Prince Harry and his wife, I forgot her name, and I'm coming to America for a handful of time, or like literally only a handful of times that he's been here lately. Not for nothing. Do I really want to see Jay fucking Z and Beyonce? I mean, if this was 10 years ago, I'd understand when they were both relevant.
I'll tell you what, they still are pretty.
She is.
He is too, though. He's really respected in a lot of. He's a businessman, man, and he's respected in a lot of circles.
I don't know.
He's a powerhouse. I'm telling you, it may not be Jay-Z. I'm Big Pimp, and it may not be that. But he's more than that. He's actually probably living really what Big Pimping is. He is respected and he's beyond a rapper now. I don't know if you understand that. I don't know if I'm making my
He's
point
like
across.
what The Rock is. He's beyond the music. He just like The Rock's beyond wrestling.
He's no, but
But
The
Rock
Rock
is
is
respected.
beyond wrestling, but he's still no. He's always been beyond wrestling because he's sports entertainment. He's still entertainment. Jay-Z is beyond entertainment. He's a businessman. The Rock is still an entertainment person. I don't know. I don't know. I understand what you mean though, but I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm going off topic here.
I don't know. That's what we do here on Main Event Madness. We are closing in very quickly on our 2-hour mark. We're gonna try to hit up as many topics as we can, and
Hey, fuck it. We're going more than 2 hours tonight. Unless you don't want to.
we'll see. We'll see how it is in another 20 minutes or so.
All right. What's next up?
All right. So let's see. What's next? So the Royal Rumble we had talked about a few weeks ago was supposedly 40 men, and they had ECW stars coming back to be part of those 40 men. Well, not so fast. WWE has nixed all of those plans, and we're back to a 30-man Rumble with no ECW superstars.
You know what? I personally think for WWE purposes, that's a great fucking idea.
Agreed.
Because they don't know how to handle ECW stars. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but
They see ECW
I'm
stars
tired
and
of
they want to.
WWE running down shit. If you
Yep.
look at House of Hardcores with Tom and Dreamer, holy shit, what a fucking great pay-per-view to watch. And I don't know if you've seen it, and they're coming back in March again.
Are they?
What's WWE's gonna fuck it up? They know they are, and I think it would have been cool for the fans in a sense. But for what? I mean, what, you're gonna have 10 originals come back that only not everybody knows about, like the Blue Meanie and maybe
Balls Mahoney.
Miles Mahoney, which I don't even know what the fuck's going on with them, and who else? You know what? I think it's a good thing if they niche, if they bring it back. I'm a fan. I would be happy for them as performers to make a paycheck. That's about it. You know, that's about it. What is your take?
It's not hurting my feelings that we're not seeing ECW. I would have loved to see a 40-man Rumble.
That's what I wanted to see. I didn't know initially why there was a 40-man Rumble. Remember when it came out several months ago? Then they said it was ECW. I was like, what the fuck for? You know, I thought the 40-man Rumble was because they had a lot more talent on the roster. NXT was going to be on there. I agree with you. I'm not. It's not going to hurt my feeling that ECW's not on there.
But, you know, off topic here for a second. I was just looking at my local news. Are you any sort of fan of Syracuse University?
I could care less.
Okay. Do you like college basketball or anything?
It's something that. And where am I? No, I'll be. No, fuck it. No, I can't. It's too many teams. I can't fucking keep up with that shit. I'm
have
more
been
worried about my fantasy
vilified.
football team.
I have been vilified by several people around where I live. So, in some regard, I've been vilified because I hate Syracuse. I think
Okay.
their head coach, Jim Boeheim, is one of the most overrated coaches in history. People say, oh, he's a legend, he's this and that, he's one of the greatest ever. In the regular season, yes, he has 953 career wins. Definitely one of the greatest coaches of all time in any sport. But I mean, you've been a coach for over 30 years and you've won one championship. You're 1-29 at least in those 30 years. That's not exactly a legendary run, and I actually brought a little bit of joy to my eyes to hear that I won't have to hear about Syracuse every 5 seconds with the college
What
tournament.
happened?
Apparently, they have 3 losses on the season already, and currently are ranked 350th in the country.
Holy shit! That
I know. I'm loving it. I mean, I'm hoping this means my Virginia Tech Hokies have a little bit more chance of doing something here, but I don't know.
So how do you like Virginia Tech though?
All right, so what happened was like 7-8 years ago. My buddy has been big into Alabama for a long time, and one day he and I were talking on the phone, and Alabama was playing one of the bowl games or something, and they were playing Virginia Tech. I'm like, man, you know what? I just want to piss him off. So fuck Alabama. Let's go Virginia Tech. And it kind of stuck with me.
Well, that's hilarious. That's awesome.
Shit happens.
All right.
Sometimes that's how you become a fan when you're like, what, 13, 14 years old? 15, 16 years? Oh my god, I'm getting old.
You're not getting. You fuck you. You're getting old.
I'm sorry.
You're getting old when
I'm
you
sorry
have
that I'm not
your
going to be
wife in the
30.
hospital right now.
I'm sorry that I'm not going to be 30 like somebody else is.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I said I'm sorry I'm not going to be 30 like somebody else is.
You will be eventually, and I'll catch up with you.
I know.
Wait. As a matter of fact, I'm 29. So you probably get like a year and a half of your PS4 game, so enjoy it before you meet your wife and have your kids.
Probably longer than that.
No, that's what I felt too. Oh man. All right, so Syracuse is fucked, and I'm tired of looking at my and speaking of the Heat, they actually won today, but the Cavs look like how the Miami Heat looked last year, and they fucking whooped that ass too. They won like at the last minute or something crazy. They beat Toronto 105 to 101. It's scary how great the Warriors are, but the Cavs are going to be something to reckon with. And right now, a good game going on, or not a good game. You know what? It is a good game, and I'm sure that ESPN's making money, or whoever the hell is broadcasting them is Sacramento and the Lakers, just because of Kobe Bryant. What's up next? I know we're running here and we're talking a lot of smack. I'm having fun. What's
So
up
did you
next,
hear about
John?
Cam Newton?
What?
Did you hear about Cam Newton?
Oh, I heard that he flipped in the air. He fucking almost died, but he didn't.
Yeah, he got into a bad car accident. Apparently, all he did was fracture a few bones in his back.
You know what's going to be funny now? When he fucking comes out and plays on Sunday, and he's fucking better than he's been all season. Because he fucked me in one of my fantasies on Yahoo. I joined the public Yahoo League, which I do once a year. And Cam Newton was my starting quarterback, and he screwed me all year. I don't know what the hell happened to him. No, but you know what? That much have been scary. I don't know. I don't understand what happened. He's still number one on ESPN.com.
Well, they said it's the same
it's
kind of
bad.
injury.
He fractured his back. I can't see him playing on Sunday.
Well, they said it was the same kind of injury that Tony Romo had at the beginning of the season, and he only missed a week.
Wait, but I know Tony Romo had a back injury at the end of the year. So you're talking about the beginning of the season?
Like earlier in the season, he had that bad back injury. He only missed one game.
Okay, all right.
So time will tell whether or not he.
Well, you gotta recall that I'm going back to Tony Romo did have a bad back surgery last year. Then he re-injured it this year.
Correct.
Maybe Tony Romo already had his doctors. Like I'm saying, I understand it might be similar, but it's a different person, a different body. So I don't know what's gonna happen to him. You know what I mean?
Time will tell. It should be interesting, that's for sure. But speaking of time will tell, Rey Mysterio has reportedly signed a new contract with World Wrestling Entertainment and will reportedly be back on TV soon. This is a complete 180 from what we had talked about here on Main Event Madness a few weeks ago, and that he was supposedly going to AAA and or Lucha Underground. Al, are you happy to see the master of the 619 returning to World Wrestling Entertainment?
You know what? I've been seeing Rey Mysterio since his ECW days. They still feature him on a couple vignettes here and there, and it's one of those things that I can't wait till he retires so I could listen to his stories. Because obviously Rey Mysterio's not happy. Because if he shows up on a video vignette at the end of the same international pay-per-view that Alberto Del Rio debuted at after his release or his firing from WWE, then he's appearing backstage at Lucha Underground. There's something there. And a couple weeks back, Rey Mysterio...
you can say Alberto Del Rio, but you can't say Rey Mysterio.
No, Rey Mysterio. Why I said
Rey
that
Mysterio.
wrong? Well, he is Mysterio. A couple weeks back, he showed up at Monday Night Raw because he had a meeting with Vince McMahon. And nobody knows what happens. But apparently, now that these reports are coming out, maybe they squeeze Rey Mysterio saying, hey, if you don't fucking come back, we're going to sue your ass. And that's what I'm thinking. Especially the shit that came out with CM Punk. ADR and what Evan Ginsberg has told me about the WWE, maybe he's put back in the corner. So if he comes back to WWE, I'll be happy as a fan to see Rey Mysterio, one of my beloved. I mean, Rey Mysterio is a unique talent, and I've always enjoyed watching him in the ring. Um, but I'm scared or worried that he's doing it because he has to, and these new reports saying that he signed a new contract or he needs to come back to work the remainder of his contract. It's going to be against his will. What do you think? You think I'm
Either
thinking
that,
too
or
big?
maybe he just realized that, hey, these guys aren't going to be able to offer me the money that Vince and the WWE are going to offer me. So screw it. I'm just going to stay put. I got friends here. I got money here. Why am I going to walk away from such a good situation? And the report is also stating, that maybe Vince is going to meet some more of his requests or demands that he has. So should be interesting whether or not Ray comes back and if he's back on an active roster or if maybe he's a part-time competitor or something like that.
But don't you find it strange that that he's still been on the WWE contract? Why the hell did he show up on a AAA vignette saying that he was going to be there and backstage at Lucha Underground? Isn't that kind of weird that happened while he was under contract with World Wrestling Entertainment?
It is, but I mean, stranger things have happened.
Well, you're right on that aspect. I mean, I kind of wanted to see him end his career like we had talked about it months ago when this report came out where he was possibly returning to AAA.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been great for him possibly to end his career there. I mean, the last I've seen of Rey Mysterio was I don't know if it was Instagram or Twitter where he took a selfie and in the background was Conan getting arrested at a recent San Diego Chargers game. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, not surprising.
At the end of the day, if he does come back and he wrestles a few matches, I'll be happy. I still wish that we could have seen Evan Bourne and Rey Mysterio as a tag team. I was so excited. There's a lot of things in wrestling I've been watching for so many years, 20 plus years. There's some moments that you remember, and one of those things was Rey Mysterio and Evan Bourne being a tag team. I really felt that they had uniqueness to them, styles, and they could have been great together. And that's something I wanted to see. So I don't know where I stand with Rey Mysterio. Hopefully, if he does come back, he's happy, makes some money, and
you know what I would do with Rey?
What?
You know what I would do with Rey?
What's that?
I would have him be SmackDown exclusive. SmackDown and pay-per-views. They don't have any major names on SmackDown. Like, I'm actually shocked. I was just looking at the SmackDown spoilers, and Cena was on.
And that's a special reason that Cena was on only because of the Tribute to the Troops show, because he was there for that show, and they filmed it all in the same area.
Gotcha.
If not, he wouldn't. But I agree. Maybe that would be like a niche, right, John? Like where they have Rey Mysterio.
Maybe it'd be similar to like when the Undertaker was only on SmackDown. Undertaker on Raw was a really rare occurrence.
Mm-hmm. And I remember there was one time that SmackDown was all about that Latino. They were trying to hit that Latino
you had Psicosis,
audience. Remember with Chavo Guerrero,
Eddie
Guerrero and Chavo. Their storyline after Eddie died, a lot of it happened on SmackDown.
Yep. Were you a fan of the Mexicools? Psicosis and Super Crazy?
I was. I'll admit it. I was. I liked all that shit. Were you?
See, I didn't see them until towards the end, but I mean, from what I saw them, they weren't bad. And it was kind of different, especially with the fucking lawnmower.
That was fucking great.
But
Let's continue on. We have a huge pay-per-view coming up.
WWE
This
TLC S.
table ladders, chairs, and fucking stairs. Wait. John, you have extended time with us tonight, or are you
Yeah, I
starting
can
to
go a
fade
little
out?
bit longer.
We've been on for 2 hours yet.
Hour 115 minutes. So
I don't
yeah,
even know what the
basically
fuck that
2
means.
hours.
Also, 5 more minutes. Have you been witnessing a New Day before we get into this fucking TLC pay-per-view?
New day, new day, new day, new day.
I fucking hate it.
So do I.
What the fuck happened to the badass fucking
Billy
maybe
Gunn?
Nation of Domination Part 2? What the fuck happened?
Vince decided to be racist.
I just fucking hate it. I hate it. It doesn't make sense to me. They're super
They're
the
super over the
crowd
top, like
hasn't
racial.
reacted to them. I hear like 3 fucking fans in the background, and it's probably the moms that go to the fucking church. I'm sorry to be so fucking racist, or
I'm
if I
not
sound
acknowledging
racist,
it.
but it's fucking horrible. I used to not like Kofi Kingston. I felt like Big E needed something more. And Xavier Woods, he's a fucking badass. I know he's communicated with you and me in the past via Twitter.
And Facebook.
It is fucking, I hate it. I can't stand it.
New day, new day, new day, new day. The crowd got into it a little bit on Raw, from what I heard.
Very little. It was like fucking two people on the stands.
But I don't know.
And then what happens is that every time they come out, like 2 different people, they mix the combination of who's wrestling.
That part I don't
So-
mind.
I mean, I don't mind it, but it's like, you know what's eating at me? I hate when the WWE sits there and
Decides to be racist
no, not racist, bro.
because they
Makes
are.
us out of being stupid. We had this conversation about the New Day. They said they weren't going to come out here and be fucking singing and dancing. I feel like they're the WWE creative and not creative management is punishing Xavier Woods for what he fucking said. Because he said, you know what, we're not fucking taking shit from none of these fucking people anymore. We're gonna do what we wanna do. We're not gonna sing and dance. And sure as hell, some fucking asshole in the back said, "Fuck
Yes,
you,
you
Xavier
are.
Woods. We're gonna make you sing and dance like a little bitch that you are, and you're our puppet." It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't see the benefits of a New Day in the WWE.
It's just, I don't know. I hope that at some point we're going to be wrong and that the group gets better as time goes on.
I agree with
I
you.
don't think it's going to happen. But nonetheless,
I'll tell you this, John. I mean, the group itself together could be great. I just don't like the gimmick that the company put them in. I mean, it's so here's my word. It's corny.
obscenely.
Obscenely corny. It's ridiculously corny, and I just don't like it. I know I went on a little rant here, but that was the first person on our first thing on the TLC thing because this is the pre-show. It's a New Day, Big E, and Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods versus Goldust and Stardust. This match is gonna happen. We're gonna watch it. If you do watch it on the pre-show, we're gonna have it live on WrestlingNewsReport.com. I'm sad because it looks like Goldust and Stardust are fading away, and I'm fading away fast. What are your thoughts? And I know you're not a fan of Goldust and Stardust. I was, and I am. So, what are your thoughts about this pre-show tag
I
team
hope
match?
that this is the beginning of the end of Golden Stardust.
You know why? I'm scared of it because Goldust has been kicking ass, And if there's no gold in Stardust, the career of Goldust, where does it leave it? And I know it's coming to an end, so it makes me feel even older than what I am.
You know what I could see, and I'm scared to think about it, but I've already thought about it, so fuck it. We could see a
What's
tag
that?
team.
What type of tag team?
Goldust and Adam Rose.
Oh, fuck Adam Rose. I'm sick of that fucking gimmick.
It's
I
horrible.
can't stand that Adam Rose stuff anymore. How can you see that happening, though?
They're both comedy characters at heart. It's going to be a while because they still have the feud with Cody and Goldust, hopefully at WrestleMania 31. Which I hope we finally get it.
You know what? It could lead to it. Hopefully, we do get it, and Goldust. They might make it a career versus whatever match, and Goldust lose. But it'll be great. And if anything, if you understand the history of Goldust and the Runnels family, they were never really close, and really this brought them close together. Goldust was doing a lot of drugs in his
Yep.
days, and he's got his life together, especially with DDP Yoga, and it's pretty cool that he was able to do a run, and that's why when you see guys like Mick Foley say, "Wow, I'm so proud of Goldust," it's not because he's fucking 45, 50, whatever the fuck age he is. It's because he got his shit together.
Mm-hmm.
So great for him at whatever age he is. I mean, he's able to pull in some people and interest still. So, and it's kind of crazy to see what Goldust was and what he became, and he's still relevant. So it's pretty cool.
You know what's crazy about Goldust?
What's that?
Goldust has literally spanned four generations.
Yep. It's unbelievable.
Goldust
and he's had
feuded-
a lot of different characters too in the meantime.
Yep. I mean, Goldust feuded with Roddy Piper, so he feuded with the 80s. He was around, obviously, the 90s. Was around for a bulk of the 2000s. And here he is in the 20-teens.
A couple more years, and he's going to hit up the 2020s.
I don't think we'll see him go that long.
You never know.
You think we'll see a 50-year-old Goldust?
I saw a 50-year-old fucking Hulk Hogan.
Not by choice.
Not by. That's the truth. All right, so let's give our fans.
We saw a 50-year-old wrinkly Flair.
Ric Flair has been wrinkly since I've been fucking in the diapers. That hasn't changed in fucking years.
I don't know.
Let's give the fans.
All right, let's get into this. All right, so we got TLC coming this Sunday. As we mentioned, we got. All right, so we got the Divas Championship on the line. Nikki Bella defending against AJ Lee. I'm assuming Brie Bella in her corner. Who do you got in that match?
What was it? Nikki Bella and who?
AJ Lee for the Divas Championship.
I'll tell you this. I think that Brie Bella is gonna screw Nikki Bella, and I think it's gonna be a fucked up finish. Either AJ Lee wins just because the WWE wants to keep her happy. For some reason I see it up in the air. I think there's gonna be a weird end to this match, and I can't tell you who's gonna be the champion after.
You know, real quick, while we're talking about Divas title, do you think we'll ever see a Divas Money in the Bank?
Nah. Well, fuck, it's wrestling. You can never say never, but not anytime soon. There's not enough real woman wrestlers to pull that off right now.
I mean, you wouldn't want to see, say, Charlotte, Paige, Emma, AJ Lee, Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, Natalia. That's 6 right there for briefcase.
Right, and if you bring up a couple other girls, I would want. I just don't know. I mean, Nikki and Brie are not wrestlers. I'm sorry, whoever. I could do a powerbomb, a fucking clothesline, and whatever the fuck else in the middle of a WWE ring. They're not wrestlers. What I see as a wrestler is Charlotte, Natalia, Sasha Banks, and that's pretty much. I mean, who else is a real wrestling diva?
Natalia?
That's what I said. Natalia, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte. That's it, right?
Paige.
And I'll give Paige, and AJ Lee. Those 5.
Bailey?
Bailey, if she comes, yeah. I mean, 6. Okay, I don't want to see the damn
Emma?
pellets. I think Emma's missing something, but I guess she could defend herself in an actual ring. But she's missing something.
I disagree with you. I think Nikki Bella is much better than you're giving her credit for. I'm not saying she's good, but I'm saying she's better than you're giving her credit for. God, who else? Tamina.
Well, she's been injured. When the hell is she coming back? I haven't heard from her in a while.
Yeah, she hasn't been around since her match with AJ, or her match with Paige, rather.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've. But that because she got injured.
Maybe that's something that happens on Sunday.
I'm sorry?
Maybe that's something that happens Sunday. You know, supposedly Tamina's been cleared. I thought I remember hearing something about that. Maybe Tamina comes in and there's there's AJ's next feud. And maybe you get Paige and AJ teaming up again against Charlotte and Tamina. And then you have Natalia versus Nikki Bella for the Divas title.
You know what I'm worried about Natalia, and I know this might not be proper. She is getting older, and she's becoming. I don't know how much longer she's gonna be able to perform on that top level.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? She's been in WWE almost 10 years.
That's unbelievable. Either we're getting old, or
I think that's what it is. Unfortunately.
That's why I said. I mean, there's a possibility of seeing that, but a Money in the Bank Women's Championship, women's match. The thing is that the women's division isn't like what it used to be. I'm not gonna say we'll never see it, but if there's a chance, maybe within the next 3 years, maybe we'll be able to see that.
I didn't mean say next week. I just meant at some point down the line.
Definitely. And I'm very interested. I mean, this thing with AJ Lee. If you notice on Monday Night Raw, they kept their acceptance speech real quick, real simple, and she ended up.
That was the norm with a lot of them.
It was like a 30-second speech.
That was the norm with a lot of them, though.
Yeah, maybe I was just looking too much into hers, and I pay more attention.
Paul Heyman got cut off by Bray Wyatt. The only one I saw that really talked was Roman Reigns.
Yeah, they gave him a little bit more time than the others, that's for sure.
All right, so we got Jack Swagger challenging Rusev for the U.S. title.
And that was just made on Monday Night Raw, I believe, right?
Yep.
You know what? I was kind of frustrated at first that these guys were both going back at each other again.
Doesn't it seem fresh, though?
Yeah, it does seem fresh. I don't know what it is. Like, Jack Swagger is bringing new energy to the actual feud, and I'm excited about it. And I think it'd be kind of cool if Jack Swagger could beat him. Now, I think if Jack Swagger were to beat him, it might hurt Rusev because of the trend that he's been going on. But you know what scares me the most out of this Jack Swagger Rusev Part 2? Is the fact that it is a Part 2. Meaning that, do they not know what to do with Rusev now? Like, that scares me a little bit because Rusev was supposed to be probably in the main event picture now, or elevated. So why are they doing Swagger versus Rusev again?
If you want my opinion, it kind of seems like Rusev's in a holding pattern waiting for John Cena. For WrestleMania.
But waiting for what? Like, when the hell would he see John Cena?
WrestleMania.
After he beats Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble?
He won't beat Brock Lesnar.
So why the hell will he face John Cena?
Who, Rusev?
Yeah.
Why not?
I'll tell you this. If your theory is correct, John Cena did say something that was very telling on Monday Night Raw. If he loses, it's time for him to step back. Well, step back to the mid-card level, build his character back up. Maybe that's what he was talking about.
I mean, I said to a couple friends of mine, I think 2015 is the year John Cena finally starts backing away. The Cena finally starts, heading into the shadows a little bit. Especially
It
because
seems like it's been slowly happening, though, right? If you think about it, he hasn't been champion for quite some time. I think he will be champion one more time, but maybe it is. And he keeps on saying, there's a lot of guys coming up and stuff like that. So maybe it's about time that he does back off.
I mean, instead of being champion, 5 times a year, he's been champion once a year.
Or 0 times will be better.
Or zero times a year. And, instead of being champion for 6 months, 8 months, a year, he's been champion for a month, 2 months, 3 months.
The thing is, I feel like John Cena's at the point he doesn't really need to be champion.
He's above the title.
Yeah, he's above the title. He doesn't need that shit anymore. And I'll tell you this. People are not giving WWE enough credit. Everybody's talking shit about Brock Lesnar, that he's not around and stuff, but dude, they're still maintaining a pretty good Monday Night Raw rating.
Yep.
Without the champion. They're still maintaining decent pay-per-view buys. So,
and what's crazy though is, this is the perfect time, and I wonder if the heel turn talks are going to start up again, because you're going to have a very ready main event roster come 2015, and definitely by 2016, is you're going to have Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz again, maybe. Maybe they're going to start finally doing something with him again. You're going to have Adrian Neville, Sami Zayn coming up, Hideo Itami, Kevin Owens, and Finn Balor coming up. They're going to have a very ready and able main event roster by 2016.
and shit, I think I agree. Like, John Cena should probably back off, but yeah, it's going to be a huge main event roster coming up. And what's funny is that it's Kevin Owens, Hideo Itami, Finn Balor, that are coming up, but there's also Adrian Neville, there's Sami Zayn potentially.
Tyler Breeze, maybe,
Tyler
Baron Corbin.
Breeze, he's got a cool little niche going on. So, and if anything, what's proven here is that Brock Lesnar is the world heavyweight champion. He hasn't been used on TV at all. And when I say at all, Paul Heyman hasn't been seen in weeks really talking about Brock Lesnar. So I'm just saying that it's maybe, let's say John Cena does become champion again.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, he'll be able to be off TV for a while and it'll mean more. I think they're using this Brock Lesnar thing as a test to see what happens when Lesnar comes back and see those pay-per-view buys. Maybe that they're using this as a tool to see how they can use it in the actual future.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see. It's exciting because for the first time in years, it feels like that championship needs a little bit more. The problem is that they're not talking too much about it on Raw, but they're telling you that it's okay to go back to what used to work. That the champion doesn't need to be on Monday Night Raw every week, for that matter. So what's up next?
We got Eric Rowan versus The Big Show in a stairs match.
What the fuck is a stairs match?
I have no idea.
And what the fuck's up with Big Show and Eric? I'm going to tell you this. With Big Show, I am so upset that Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Rowan are not together anymore. But I don't know. It's just the shit with Big Show seems so out of nowhere. It's like one of those things that they put him as a face and heel again, just like fucking Kane. It's the same bullshit. I
Yep.
mean, I could give a fuck who's wrestling in this match. It doesn't mean shit to me. What about you?
I mean, the only thing different with Big Show than Kane is the fact that Big Show goes every 2 years. Kane's like every fucking year.
No, Kane is like 3 times a fucking year. It seems like.
That's true.
So yeah, that's what it is. Who wins? Who gives a fuck? We know that fucking Eric Rowan should win. He's got to win. Fuck Big Show. He's been doing this shit for 10 plus years. Yeah, do you agree with me or not?
Yep.
All right, sounds like you're dying on me. So what's
a little
next?
bit. Sorry. We got the Usos challenging Miz and Mizdow for the WWE Tag Team titles.
The hottest tag team in years is the Miz and Damian Mizdow. How the fuck are they going to lose to the Usos?
I don't know, but I'm wondering if they're fast forwarding the Miz and Sandow feud now, because if you saw Mizdow how he was with Miz when Mizdow won the Slammy, they're definitely teasing something.
Oh, definitely. I think it's going to be a slow tease, maybe a Royal Rumble. It'll lead to Royal Rumble and maybe possibly it'll end at
being Mania.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So Royal Rumble, you can see it. Royal Rumble, Damian Mizdow says, "You know what? Fuck it. Fuck you. Fuck the Miz." And he eliminates the Miz or the other way around. And maybe this might be one of those, like Damian Mizdow might be one of those people that he's building underneath our eyes, and he might become bigger than what he is. And guess what? It might be due to the Miz. And that's something probably a lot of us wouldn't think. A lot of us probably wouldn't think what was possible that the Miz puts over an actual star and creates a star, or helps creates a star. So maybe that's what we're seeing.
It's definitely going to be interesting. I know that, But who do you got in this match?
The Usos and Mizdow.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're the hottest tag team. The Usos, I don't see them winning. I see that the friction's going to happen. And what I'm actually more scared of is that the WWE might break up the Usos. And that's what I don't like. So I hope that doesn't happen, but I think that's what's in the future for the Usos. So we'll see. But at the end of the day, I think that the Miz and Damian are going to win, and they'll continue. The friction will build, and it'll hit a pinnacle at the next pay per view, which is Fast Lane. I believe they changed it.
After the Rumble,
it's Royal Rumble, then Fast Lane, and then WrestleMania. So we'll see what happens.
All right, and then we got Luke Harper defending the Intercontinental title against Dolph Ziggler in a ladder match.
It feels like it's put together, just like this entire fucking pay per view.
Yep.
Who gives a shit? Dolph Ziggler should have never fucking lost the title in the first place. And Dolph Ziggler went from main eventing Monday Night Raw to opening fucking Raw this week, which I don't understand. So it is what it is.
In his defense, Cena sometimes opens Raw with a match.
When the fuck was the last time Cena opened Raw and did not main event it in the same night?
It's happened a couple times.
Yeah, it's been a long fucking time though. As John fucking Cena, it's not Dolph fucking Ziggler. Ziggler still. I just don't get it. They put the main event stature on Dolph Ziggler, and they fucking pin him in the front in the opening match. I just don't understand it on Monday Night Raw.
Sorry, crip my neck. Oh, this is uncomfortable. Ryback versus Kane in a chairs match.
Again, who gives a shit about this match? Do you?
Not particularly.
You sound like you're dying.
Sorry, I had a neck cramp. I bent my neck the wrong way at work the other night.
At the end of the day, Ryback should win. What is your thoughts?
I don't see Ryback losing, especially after they put as much effort into rebuilding his character as they have. And with the talks of a match at Triple H, maybe they're going the CM Punk route and making him work his way to it.
All right, and all right. So what's next on this card?
Tables match: John Cena versus Seth Rollins. If Cena loses, he loses his number 1 contendership.
Which is weird. So who becomes number 1 contender? They're not saying Seth Rollins would be.
Randy Orton.
Which is strange. Where the hell's Orton been?
He's filming.
It's another fucking weird match. I mean, this is a match that I told you that, and we talked about on the show that should have happened like 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels a little bit too late. There's another thing that I'm not really looking forward to. What about you?
Not really.
And this is the main event of the pay-per-view.
The only thing I'm intrigued about was after what Cena said on Raw, whether or not he's going to win or not. Or whether or not he's going to lose, rather.
What, John Cena said that?
Oh, yeah, with what he said. If I lose, maybe it's time to step down. So maybe this is the beginning of the end of Cena.
Yeah.
And lastly, the tables, ladders, and chairs match. Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt.
It's funny because this is a match that I wanted to happen as the Shield and Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family were in a feud. I wanted to see the leader of the Shield versus the leader of the Wyatt family, and I wanted to see Roman Reigns I think they're gonna fucking annihilate each other, and it's gonna end up whoever. That it might be like a double DQ. I mean, I really don't know.
There's no DQ in a TLC match, bud.
Well, I'm just saying I don't know what a knockout. I don't know what the hell's gonna happen. I don't know who benefits from a win more than the other. Maybe Dean Ambrose will because he's a little bit more popular right now.
Mm-hmm.
I could care less who wins. It's another match that who gives a shit who wins. I just want to see them kill each other. What about you?
I'm kind of torn on it, to be honest with you, but I'd be happy with either one winning, to be honest.
Why are you torn on it?
Because I'm fans of both of them.
I think that's probably the problem too. But do you agree with me a little bit? I mean, isn't this something you wanted to see as the Wyatt family versus the Shield back in the day?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I thought they were going to elaborate more on that and create a bigger storyline.
They're still young in their singles careers, though, so time will tell. But let's shift gears really quick here. And we got NXT TakeOver Our Evolution taking place, well, officially now tomorrow night. Which, yes, Al, by the way, it is officially...
Pump Day!
Get happy.
We talked about how excited we were for this card. Right off the bat, we got the Lucha Dragons, Sin Cara and Kalisto, versus the Vaudevillains, Simon Gotch and Aiden English. Have you been watching?
Who are you going for?
I kind of want to see the Vaudevillains win just because I've been loving the hell out of these silent video promos they've been having, and I want to see some of them after they win the titles. But at the same time, I wonder if they're going to try to build that out. Maybe the next NXT special. Maybe that'll be the send off for Sin Cara and Kalisto. Maybe they'll be coming up to the main roster.
I mean, this is what I hope for. I'm going to say this off rip before we get into everything. I just want NXT Revolution to have good wrestling. I hope that it doesn't get saturated with like WWE Raw creative. And I think that's why everybody's excited to be able to see some pure wrestling. The tag team match is going to be great. I agree. I would like to see them win. I'm not really fans of Kalisto Sin Cara for whatever reason it is, and I don't think that the WWE is. I mean, they haven't really been mentioned so much on the main roster or to help build the event on Thursday, if I'm correct here. So I think they have a unique look and unique style, and I would love for them to finally win and defeat them.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, because they do have a very unique gimmick, something that we don't see in the main roster. I don't know if that roster would get over on the main roster, though. Or that gimmick would get over on the main roster, though. That's what kind of concerns me with the Vaudevillains. But next we got the NXT Women's Championship, Charlotte defending against Sasha Banks. Real quick, I'll give my opinion on this match. If we see Charlotte lose to try saying that 5 times fast. If we see Charlotte try to lose, or Sasha losing... Wow. Charlotte losing to Sasha, then I think that's Charlotte, sign the Charlotte's head on the main roster.
If we see
if we see Charlotte lose to Sasha Banks, I think it's a sign that Charlotte's officially coming to the main roster.
Not only that, though, I feel that she's coming to the main roster. Another reason is that Triple H, I don't know if you saw what he tweeted after her appearance on Raw. Triple H went to bat for her, saying congratulations. So for her coming out on Monday Night Raw and debuting. So I think it's time. I mean, a lot of times after these specials of NXT, we see a lot of them come up. So I think she's ready. I mean, in a weird way, she reminds me of a sexier version of China, meaning that I wouldn't want to step in the ring with her because I think that she will kick my ass. So I hope that she loses in a sense so she can come up to the main roster. I mean, it should be interesting.
And in my opinion, after that, we got the first of 2 main events. Finn Balor and Hideo Itami are taking on the Ascension.
I wish I could bring them all up at the same time. The Ascension. Holy shit, what a fucking match that's going to be.
Yep.
I want them to give them 20 minutes, wrestle their fucking asses off, and put on a great show. I'm so excited about that alone. That's the only reason. It's like I really don't give a shit who wins, to be quite honest. I just want them both on the main roster, and I think it's going to be a great match. And let me tell you, the build to their match has been impeccable. Have you seen the build to that match, right?
Yep. And the fact that it's
probably one of the best
long.
things that WWE has done, and they don't even know they've done it.
Yep. The fact that we've had 3 months of build for one match is awesome. And finally, the main event, and probably the most important match, at least in my opinion, of these both of these events, Adrian Neville defending his NXT championship against Sami Zayn. And if Sami Zayn loses, he will quit NXT.
He'll quit NXT and become on the main roster.
Either that, or maybe he quits and brings back El Generico.
I'll tell you what, it's one of those things that I don't really know which way to go. What are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I kind of want to see Sami Zayn win, just because I want to see Adrian Neville on the main roster. And, Adrian Neville's been champion almost 10 months now. So I kind of feel like he's had his run. Let Sami Zayn have a crack now. And we can start counting down the minutes until Sami Zayn debuts on the main roster.
Let me ask you this. Who do you think is going to have the more success on a WWE roster, Neville or Sami?
Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has a more unique look, a more unique character. He has a more charismatic personality, and I think he just ultimately, for what WWE looks for, as far as in-ring potential and talent goes, as well as the entertainment value, I think he offers a little bit more than Adrian Neville does. At least at this point in their careers.
Could you see Neville or Sami Zayn as main eventers on a WWE roster?
Adrian Neville, I don't think so. Sami Zayn, transitional champion.
Okay. And that's it's funny because a lot of people talk great. Even John Cena called out Adrian Neville's name after the first NXT
Mm-hmm.
takeover event. But Neville, as great of a wrestler he is, and physique wise he is, he's kind of like a John Morrison. Like I don't see him being beyond that. Maybe a little bit less than a Dolph Ziggler. I think he's great in the ring, but I agree with you. He doesn't have that charismatic value, and Sami Zayn does. I mean, Sami Zayn has a unique look to him, and I agree with you 100%. As for the match itself, I swear to God, I don't know which way they're going to go. I think that they both deserve to finally be on the main roster. But let's say they both become on the main roster. Who's up in line? It's kind of a weird transition.
Well, another thing we haven't talked about either, and this could be where they go with that, is Corey Graves is scheduled to appear and give an announcement regarding his career.
Oh, he's done. He's done.
Fingers crossed, maybe if he is cleared to compete, maybe he throws his hat in the main event.
I doubt it. I think he's done. I feel bad for him. They said they were going to do. He's more going to be like a commentator if he's lucky enough. I don't think he's going too much further than where he is. Everybody hopes for a better positive review, and maybe it is that type of swerve that they're saying that they're not saying much and saying he's going to return.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he does become into that main event picture because a lot of people love him and like him. I feel that I hope that he did recover and his injury is not a career ending. That's for sure.
And he would benefit so much right now too because CM Punk is gone, and the two of them shared both an in-ring style and obviously a look. So I mean, if anybody would benefit, I think it would be him.
Well, definitely, and that's going to be happening on the pre-show of the actual.
Yes.
All right, sounds good.
And maybe if you're up for it, maybe we could do a brief NXT Takeover post show.
If I'm around, for sure.
All right. So maybe you guys got that to look forward to this week.
All right, sounds good. And I think that's it, right, John? I think this is our main event madness number 10.
Yes, we are in the double digits now, Al, for a very, very long time to come.
Double digits? Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. I thought you were triple digits.
You know what? Let's take a little bit here. We got a lot of interviews coming up. We got
shit, dude.
Jeff Jarrett. As you guys heard in the couple commercial breaks, Jeff Jarrett will be on Main Event Madness some point this month. We will have him on. I'm not sure if we'll have him on live. We're going to figure that out this week. Stay tuned, Facebook.com/Main Event Madness, and we'll put that on there. As you guys also heard in the commercials, we have Brodus Clay kicking off Main Event Madness in 2015. A new interview with him. It's not the same interview. David Hero and Al Snow. David Hero is also returning to Main Event Madness. He'll have Al Snow with him. A double interview. Should be a hilariously awesome time. TNA star, I don't know if you want to say superstar, but TNA superstar, Gunner will be joining us tentatively on January 21st. And we have a couple more interviews to be determined when they will air. But we also have J.J. Dillon and former TNA star Garrett Bischoff. Among a slew of others, we have a lot of some of them I don't really feel comfortable talking about yet until we get more details hammered out. But we could possibly have interviews lined up straight almost into WrestleMania. Which is crazy if you think about it, but we could.
It's unbelievable.
And now, I'm going to call you out on air. What do you think about for the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's. Show-wise, what do you think we should do? The fans may be wondering, what are they going to do for Main Event Madness?
I don't know. Today's what? December 10th. Well, we're gonna have Jeff Jarrett in a couple of weeks, right?
Yes.
I thought he was confirming for next week. No,
I'll talk to you more about that after the show. But
that's not good.
no, it's not bad. But how do you want to do Christmas? Do you want to do a best of show?
We could probably do a best of and talk some other shit. You know?
I mean, I don't know. I think we'll have to pre-record one because I don't think you'll be around Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Now, with the size of a family that you have, sir.
Oh, that's right. Christmas Eve is on the 24th. We're gonna have to do a Monday night show if we're lucky.
That'll be interesting.
We'll figure it out. If not, we'll do like every other fucking show, do a best of.
And then I'm thinking for New Year's, we get whoever wants to come on. You, me, Wayne, Tash, Joel O'Brien, Matt. I mean, the list could go on, and I say we just come on and just have some fun. Reflect on the year, you know. Definitely think that, or we'd have an awesome time with that.
That sounds good to me.
What else is there really to get to? You know, like I said, we love how we have production meetings on the show. But you know, make sure to follow us. Spreaker.com/show/main event madness. It's Spreaker.com/show/main event madness. And be sure to follow us on there. You guys will be able to listen to us first. YouTube.com/user/main event madness. Stitcher.com, iHeart.com, and TuneIn.com. Search Main Event Madness. Of course, maineventmadness.com, WrestlingNewsReport.com, Wrestling-News.net. You'd be able to check us out there. Yeah, as we mentioned, you know, in the first hour or so, I don't know when the hell it was, we'll have the guys from Pro Wrestling Powerhouse's Wrestling's Week That Was, Wrestling's Rope Break, possibly Heartbeat Radio. Is that right? Heartbeat Radio?
Yes.
Okay. Possibly joining us in the coming weeks. Be sure to follow me at John MEM Radio and at Al. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do it. Follow me at John MEM Radio, and of course, follow Al at
AL Me Madness.
He loves his Twitter handle, guys. I don't know why. But on that note, I sound like a fucking zombie, so I'm going to take off. You guys have a great night. You know, if any of you guys listening are in the Northeast, stay safe, drive safe. Don't be like a goddamn snowbird in the South. Most of you people have been living up here for decades, driving in it for years. You guys know how to drive in it. If you don't like driving in the snow, stay the fuck off the roads. That's my encouraging note of the week. If you don't like snow, stay the fuck off the roads and stay the fuck out of the stores. You're not going to be snowed in like Buffalo was. You'll be fine. I'm sure most of you have enough groceries in your pantry to get you through one night. Maybe two. Oh my god, it's going to be like the fucking zombie apocalypse. Alright, I'm getting on a rant. Alright, I think we're going to be getting the hell out of here. You guys have a great night, great rest of your week, great weekend, so on and so forth. Enjoy TNA. Wow, shows you how tired I am. Enjoy NXT TakeOver Our Evolution. Enjoy WWTLC. We might be back tomorrow night with a post show of NXT TakeOver Our Evolution. If not, we'll be back here next week. And yeah, that's pretty much all we got. So we're out. You guys have a great night. And I'm rambling. I'm shutting up now. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for joining us. Miss a part or all of today's show? No problem. Head over to maineventmadness.com where you'll find today's show as well as every show in our history. So once again, for all of us here at Main Event Madness, I'm John Curry. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you back here next time. Have a good one, everybody. So long.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming home.
I'm coming home.
Let the rain wash away
Feels so
all
good.
the pain of yesterday.
Feels so free.
To my
Ain't no place like home, baby.
And they're forgiving
Ain't no place
my
like home.
mistakes. I'm
Coming home.
coming home.
I'm coming home.
Tell the world
Tell the
that I'm
world.